All right, everybody. Good evening. How you doing?
You wouldn't believe what Matt said.
I said,
Right when we started.
I said, I love you. I said, I love you
That's
because
definitely what he said.
that is the
For
truth.
sure.
Oh no, I would never say that. I would never say that to people who talk too much right before we going on stream. Ever.
You got me there.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. I mean, I feel that guy's pain in a way, right? He's just like straightens his tie, straightens his hair back. He's like, this is the '80s.
That's Bill O'Reilly.
That's Bill O'Reilly. She's probably coming off a binge of cocaine,
start.
and he's like, yeah. All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm your humble DM, Matt G, and we got some great stuff for you tonight. This week, we are continuing, of course, our campaign of Dungeon of the Mad Mage with people in various places all around the globe, brought to you by Roll20 and the power of imagination. Because that's
And the internet.
that's the internet. Yep, the internet is just basically, is the way that we bring people together,
Trip.
right? That's the way we bring people together. Speaking of bringing people together, we have a new person who happens to be directly above me, who's our special guest for tonight. Let's say hello.
Sponsored by Jameson.
Sponsored? No, we're not sponsored by Jameson
No.
because we did this before once.
Water.
Let's do this. No, we can't show. You can't show. No, don't show
No.
any
I did the
brands.
list.
No, I wore the wrong shirt.
That's okay.
You did.
It's okay. So let's all say hello.
I'm being southernly dainty with my hand.
Say hello to an old friend who has come back for a guest star,
everybody.
who may or may not be playing the character that he played from last campaign. We shall see. But let's all say hi to Chris. He's there here above us. Right?
Won't we?
Yes, we will. We will find
See
out.
Clement Pumbaa. Thanks for all that
What's
money,
up,
Disney, on that
Pumbaa?
Lion King remake. Pumbaa loves the residuals.
Once again, we,
Oh my
we
God.
can't be mentioning any brand names or titles or anything like that, or any
Don't
songs
sue
longer
me.
than 30 seconds. We're not necessarily sponsored by any of these entities or endeavors, but if they
I have a green shirt on. It's just
we're sponsored by
Calm
the
down, Matt.
color
It's
green.
parody.
It's not YouTube. You're fine.
Right, exactly, because YouTube.
YouTube is the one you have to be worried about, not Twitch. Twitch is good.
Wait, are we allowed to talk about YouTube?
I mean, Drake.
Eek. Anywho, let's just let's get into this, right? Because we don't have a lot of time. I don't actually. Arnold never said that in any of his movies. Where did I get that one from?
he is not in.
Let's get to the chopper. There we go. He said that,
There
right?
you
We have to go back.
We have to go back.
Billy. No.
So okay.
To the chopper, Billy.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I do this every week, right? I do the recap every week, and it lasts for God knows however, and it makes me feel uncomfortable and awkward. And so now I'm passing that lovely feeling of awkwardness and knowledge to well, we have 6 people, but I'm going to have to say, Chris, unfortunately, although I would love for you to do a recap, I don't think that you're knowledgeable enough to know what happened. So we're just gonna roll a d6 minus 1, right? And
no.
so number 1 is Sarah. Number 2 is Septur.
Of course.
Number 3 is Drakon. Number 4 is Kraw. Number 5 is Alex. Right. So let's. I'm gonna roll right here in game, and let's see how much people are actually paying attention. Right. So here we go. Roll 1d6 minus 1. It's a 1.
Okay.
All right. So Sarah, wait. Here we go. So Sarah, I'm gonna.
All right.
By the way, Sarah is broadcasting not from her usual home,
no.
but she's broadcasting from a
You're
different
kidding.
place.
This hotel room is like the size of my entire apartment.
That makes me feel sad.
live from Maryland.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring on
Live?
your recap music. By the way, if you guys want to assist with any of the facts from last time, they would be probably useful. But don't be verbose, right? We want to get into this, so let's keep it snappy.
I will make this as snappy as possible.
On your marks, get set, go.
No.
Okay, so after having, so the party is still split with 2 of the characters still up on level 2 completing their various and sundry tasks, and down on level 3, 3 more have decided to move forward. So after roasting the Chimera and making some darts, we packed up the moving castle and continued further into the dungeon. That would be Zeke, Elbauthin, and Talron. And we found ourselves, after examining a tunnel full of spider webs and saying, you know what, giant spiders, let's not. We went in another corner and found giant spiders anyway. So after dominating one spider to follow her commands, Zeke started a spider fight, which quickly turned on the party. And was immediately joined by a veritable army of drow. However, through some crafty spell work and lots of Zeke hiding underneath a dead spider to not get murdered, eventually joined by both other members of the party, they managed to basically wipe out an entire army of drow, including one special drow whose body is about to be looted and decapitated as soon as we return. Meanwhile, up on the upper level, the remaining members of the party, we have Qrevialur and Ferros, joined by Nerthios II, the tamed. What is he again?
He is a beholderkin known as a spectator.
Beholderkin.
Yeah,
He's a spectator. That's it. The floating eyeball with the droopy tongue.
exactly.
And everybody's least favorite NPC, Haleth are on.
That hurts my heart.
I thought she was.
Everybody, I say everybody's like the
thought you
Yoko
were-
Ono
Oh,
of the
shit.
party, fought
Wow.
off 2 gibbering mouthers, did a little more exploring, and then found even more gibbering mouthers who took really big chunks out of everybody, including Haleth, who very nearly found himself prone on the floor, but managed to narrowly escape and make his way back up, at which point both Qrevialur and Ferros decided they needed to take a rest so as not to die, and Haleth finally said, screw you guys, I'm sick of your shit, and wandered off on his own. And that is a very brief recap
Wow.
of what happened last
Guys,
week.
take notes
Damn.
because that's how you fucking do a recap. Like, for real. No notes, nothing. Like, you know what, Sarah? This,
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna do something I very rarely do. You're gonna get
What's up?
your choice. Either
Mm.
points,
Mm.
right? We know what kind of points we're talking about here. We're talking about the Hallister points.
Mm-hmm.
Or inspiration.
Ooh.
I'd go for number 2.
Your choice.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't 100% know how to use inspiration.
So
but I'm gonna
inspiration
take
is basically
inspiration.
kind of like it's a DM like bonus coin, right? It's like the extra life
Okay.
in Ready Player One, right? It's essentially
Okay.
like you basically can use it whenever you want.
Mhm.
You can't use it for more than I have a special rule with inspiration because people bank it and they forget about it. With inspiration, I say that you can't have it for more than 2 sessions, right? And then it just
Okay.
goes away by itself. But inspiration allows you
Alright.
to get advantage on any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll.
Okay.
All right.
And do I have to choose? I have to choose preemptively.
You
to use
choose
my
either Hallister points or inspiration.
No, I mean like when I'm using inspiration, I choose preemptively and say I'm going to use my inspiration on this roll, or I roll badly and say I want to.
The latter. The latter.
Oh, in that case, I will take the inspiration.
Dope. Okay, on your character sheet, there's a little button that has a little. It says inspiration, and if you click it, little dragon symbol shows up. So there you
Do.
go. Top left.
Inspiration.
And the dragon.
Right above your proficiency bonus, right under
I
your name.
I see it. I'm clicking on it. Nothing is happening.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait. Oh, there we go. I have to click in the empty space.
There you go.
Okay. there we go.
Excellent.
There.
All right.
Got it.
So that should give you guys incentives, right? To 1, pay attention, and 2, if perhaps called upon at some point during this campaign, to give as good and as concise a recap as what that lady just did. All right. That said, let's jump into it. So who do we go with first? I think we should go with. Yeah, let's go with Ferros and with Qrevialur, who have just recently woken up from their cat nap. Right, Ferros and Qrevialur. Qrevialur having some kind of perhaps feeling that as a bard, his magical ability comes from beating people senseless, and so therefore utilizing the spell Catnap required him to do so with his implement of whacking someone on the head. Nerthiost very kindly and lovingly volunteered for that job. So you whack Nerthiost in the head, and as he fell unconscious into a 10-minute catnap, you other two just went boom and fell to the ground. So 10 minutes later, you wake groggily up, and Nerthiost has also sort of come to, and there you guys are. So let me throw us all to the map where you guys are still on level 2. So let me switch us to level 2, and let's get going. Yeah. And here we are, level 2. And let me shift ping you, because I think the last time we met each other really far away, but I think I remember where you guys are. You guys are... yeah, you're right here. Shapang. There you are.
Well, I told you how it worked at least.
It worked the way I said, yes.
No,
Yes.
not at all. Never mind.
Okay.
Whatever. Should we just go find Haleth, or...
Zeril sort of stands up.
You know,
He's been on the ground. He hasn't fallen asleep. He hasn't been part of the spell. But he stands up. He sort of telepathically speaks to you, Ferros, and says, "Oh, I see you're up. Very well, shall we heave ho?"
Hey, 1 second. Yes, Qrevialur.
now that we're in a calmer place, the two of us, something's been bothering me for quite a while.
I look over to the cave, just like looking where Haleth is.
How
Can't
would-
wait.
No. How do you know who Xeon is?
Didn't I tell you I don't?
Well, that's obviously a lie. Because you've said
Well, I
it
mean,
twice.
yeah, he's an acquaintance. I said that.
Okay, what kind?
I just met him once.
Because he seems very on your mind. Because if you just
What?
met him once, I don't think you'd bring him up as
He's
much.
not on my mind. I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why have you... Can I roll insight?
What are you trying to do here, actually?
I'm trying to see if he's lying about whether Xeon's an acquaintance.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll an insight. I don't see a problem with that.
This ain't gonna do much, but it's worth a try.
Oh,
15.
there's a whisper.
I think with a 15, you get the idea that maybe Ferros... his definition of acquaintance is probably pretty broad, actually. So it could very well be that, although he might not necessarily be the closest of friends, you might know him a little bit more than he's letting on.
So, please. How do you know my son?
I met
You
him
met him once?
Yes.
Where?
somewhere in some peninsula somewhere.
Being very vague and broad and avoiding the question.
I
Are
mean,
you afraid of him? Did he do
No,
something?
no, it was a one-off thing. It was quick. Not much more to it.
It was a one-off thing?
I mean, I just knew him for a little bit. Like I met him at one point, and now I don't. I don't talk to him anymore. You know?
So you just met him once. You never...
That's correct. Yes.
Ah,
I'm getting the feeling that you were more than...
Sarah,
was
we can hear you
that?
typing.
that's okay. Is that who is that?
Oh, is that me? That's me.
That's awesome, because I was like, what was
Are
that?
you causing those sounds in the ceiling, Qrevialur?
I'm not.
You guys hear like the scampering of rats as they just like
I think it's because this hotel room is really, really echoey because normally
Ah.
it doesn't pick that up when I do it in my apartment, but this room is like a goddamn cavern.
That's okay. I
You may
thought you were
wanna
just
add a-
angry typing.
yeah.
I'm just like,
You may want to add a toggle mute button. Just to give
Oh,
you-
I'll mute myself when I'm not talking.
thank you.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, it seems to have stopped. Okay.
Why do you keep avoiding what I say? Where did you meet him specifically?
I mean, I don't remember exactly.
The region, even.
Faerun.
You're playing dumb with. What reason do you have to keep this information from me?
The same reason I keep information from anyone.
Which
It's not
is?
necessary.
No, it's most definitely necessary.
Why is it necessary? I'm really curious.
My son is very important to me.
As everyone's son is to them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it seems like there's more going on here than just I met him once at a bar.
All right. I'm missing something. It doesn't give a reason.
He There's a lot more going on here. It's very confusing. I can tell you're
I,
holding something from me. Holding some
I
information.
mean, I hold things from everyone. I don't tell everyone everything. If I told everyone
Yes.
everything, it'd take a while.
Well, I'm not asking you to tell me everything. I'm asking you to tell me how you know my son.
I told you I met him. He was
You
an
met him
acquaintance.
where?
I think it was like some city on the west coast. No, it wasn't there. It wasn't up in the ice area. It must have been while I was traveling south, but it wasn't at Candlekeep, so it's probably nearby.
From what I know,
I don't remember any cities
son's
nearby
never been to
Candlekeep.
Candle.
No, it wasn't there. It was nearby, but I'm not sure where. I don't remember the city's name. Somewhere nearby there, though, on the west coast. A little bit north of it, I think. Was that Fandelver?
I don't know what you why you need to keep this information from me.
I don't know where it was. I don't remember exactly.
Well, you say you just met him, but clearly there's more to it than that.
Why? Why does it have to be more to it than that?
It doesn't have to be, but there is.
What is so important a relationship between two people that may or may not have been a quick thing? Like we just talked to each other. Shut up,
Because
Sarah.
clearly you
I can see you typing it.
Clearly, it's more than just that. You didn't just meet him. If it was you just met him, you wouldn't have even said that it's short for Xeon when I met Neartheos. Second. How do you even know Xeon's true name?
I remember
Because
everyone's
he
name.
doesn't tell people that.
I remember everyone's name.
Well, then you would have only remembered Xeon and not his real name.
He introduced himself as that. Then he said it's short for Xeon.
He doesn't do that. That is blatant lie.
That's what he did.
He introduces himself as Xeon.
No, he introduced himself as Nertheos and some whole bunch of letters and names and some draconic stuff I can't really repeat very well. The third or something, I can't remember exactly. And then he said, or just for short, Xeon.
The more you lie to me, the less trustworthy you seem. We're in a
I mean,
place where trust is very important.
the trust that you and I extend to each other is no more than just our swords.
Is that what you think?
So far, yes.
You think we're just here to share a burden of fighting?
After seeing the other group go, and then us being alone, I don't see any other thing that could be containing us together with just some sort of shared sword fighting.
There's a lot more going on here.
Perhaps, but I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure it's just more of a mutual helping each other, if that makes any sense.
You seem to care a lot more than about me. Helping each other.
Well, I like to pretend. I'm a good actor.
You mean the other way around. I'm pretty sure you pretend that you don't. Because you seem to care a lot about everybody you run into. Whether friend or foe. Why do you lie?
Hey, sometimes just in the job, actors gotta act.
You're not here. You're not an actor, though. You're not getting paid to be an actor. You're just forcing yourself to be someone you're not.
Nerthios sort of like notices the tension between you two. And Nerthios sort of slides down next to you, Qrevialur, and whispers something into your ear. But he doesn't do it very well. Ferros, make a perception check with advantage. Nice. Maybe it's his tongue getting in the way or something. But it's just
That
like...
is very distracting.
Yeah. Ferros, you don't hear it, unfortunately. But he says to you, Qrevialur, he says, should I kill him?
No.
You, Ferros, definitely hear the word no coming out of Qrevialur's mouth. Ferros. But you didn't hear what Nerthios said. Nerthios sort of looks a little displeased. All eyes kind of look sullen for a sec. And then he sort of floats over to the tunnel.
You're giving me the impression that you don't like my son.
Well, you'd be getting the wrong impression.
So,
Or at
you
least from my
do
acting
enjoy
standpoint,
his
yes.
company.
From an actor standpoint, yes.
From an act. Why are you being so
Yes.
convoluted
So
now?
if I were to perform a persona, the persona would be that I enjoy your son's company, yes.
Why can't you just tell me the truth? Why does everything have to be behind a mask and...
Because the more people know, the more they want to feel bad for me. And I don't think that's necessary.
I don't care enough to feel bad.
I don't need your pity.
Exactly.
And in fact, it's not
And I
necessary.
don't care enough to give you my pity.
Then perfect. I
So
believe
that means you
that would
don't.
finish it.
That means you don't need to hold the truth back. Because I'm not gonna tell you, oh, you've gone through so much. I'm not going to baby you, Ferros. I'm not a babysitter anymore.
I don't think you understand at all.
I don't
The
think
reason
you
why I
understand.
don't tell people things is mine alone. And the reason why I don't want to tell you more about your son is mainly so you don't have to hear it.
What do you think I don't have to hear?
It's something that's not really relevant.
No,
it won't
it
be
is.
relevant.
It's very
It will never
relevant.
be relevant.
It's extremely relevant.
How?
If it wasn't
It is-
relevant, then you wouldn't have brought him up twice.
No, the
now.
events that have passed and the events in the past are overturned and they don't exist anymore. Any events that have currently happened in the past are undone. What has happened, what has transpired, no longer exists, and therefore any possibility of me giving you any information that I know about Xeon is irrelevant.
Qrevialur,
alive?
make an intelligence check.
Who?
You, Qrevialur, make an intelligence check.
Like, or stat, sure. Just a straight check?
Straight check. You get the feeling that Ferros is essentially trying to wheedle through very complex language that is sort of going a little bit over your head. Like you're trying to keep up with him a little bit, but it's just like it's kind of like when a can't believe this. Can't believe I'm saying this, but it's like when a master debater. Yes, that's correct.
Master
I
debater.
did say that. Is essentially
Just
trying.
proficient.
You're welcome.
It's someone who's very good at debating.
Someone who's
I
an
don't see the
excellent
problem.
debater, right? Someone who is a master
Yes,
at debating.
at debating.
Yes.
Yep.
Is essentially trying to try to sort of stymie your argument by just hitting you with as many big words and convoluted topics as possible.
And the events that transpired, like I said, they no longer.
Stop. I don't know why you have to protect this knowledge. There's nothing worse than when I heard the things that happened in Chult with my son and what events transpired there. I don't think that anything you could tell me about him would have been worse
He
than what I
died.
heard. I know.
You didn't see it.
Heard about.
You heard about it.
I saw
Sure.
a letter. That's
Yeah,
all I
a
had.
letter. Letters and words. You didn't see it.
It's my son.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No.
Zeril whispers something to you telepathically in your head, Ferros, and says, "Should we just leave him here?"
I'm thinking about it. Just
That's
like what I've heard.
So why do you care so much about his death? If you only met him once? You're very passionate about this.
Any death around me is too
Clearly
much.
there's more than just... You've killed people!
Who?
And barely
Who
batted an
have
eye.
I killed? Who have I killed?
That Mouther. Those Mouthers.
They're not
Those were
alive.
people once. Yes,
No,
they
they
are.
were people once, but they're not anymore.
They're still the amalgamations of their souls.
If someone was to come
that's what
down here
Anthony
and find the
said.
corpse of one of those things, they're not gonna cry over it
How do you know?
because they're not sentient. They're a being of just pure lust of eating.
Sounds
That's what they.
It was
That's what
just
they're
that, then
for.
they would eat each other.
They're a failed
They would eat
experiment,
things.
just like the Nothics. The Nothics are there. The only reason they're there is because they are there as failed experiments. Something that is no longer really alive. It just takes on a form that just wants to consume and eat things. That's not alive. That's not a sentient being. It's something that is
So why
left
do you
in
care
its
so
death throes.
much about my son?
Because he was a friend, all right?
What kind of
A friend.
a friend? Just someone you were close with. Is that all you're saying?
That's more than I've said about anyone. Almost.
No, you talk about your boyfriend quite fondly.
That's why I say almost.
Fair enough.
Fine, you got it out of me. It's a event that I'd rather not talk about.
He's alive now, you know?
I met him when he was alive. I saw him when he was.
He still is alive.
Yes. He's probably different in some way, just like me. Something was lost in that resurrection. I can feel it
Different.
myself. Something was lost for him too. It's not just a difference. It's something not good. Clearly, there's something wrong with me. I figure it out. It has to be. There's
I need
no
to stop
other
you
option.
Right there. Stop. There isn't anything wrong with it.
No.
Well, you can
Why-
debate all you want. You don't have to believe me, but I can tell you right now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And you know what? That's not even a point you can argue. You could try, but you're only denying yourself. You can think that you're a bad person or whatever, or something's wrong with you, but there isn't.
There's
No,
one thing.
there isn't.
No, there is one thing.
Okay, then what is it?
If nothing has changed for me, even though you didn't know me before, you knew
I'm
me
not saying
before we
nothing
came
has
down.
changed. Things have definitely
Well, no.
changed.
If something has changed, not changed for the worse, then why am I helping Hal?
Why can't you help someone that's in need?
Because he's trying to kill someone.
So? I'm here to kill someone.
I'm not. I'm not here to kill anything. That's the thing I try to avoid. So I ask myself, and I keep asking myself this question: why am I helping? Elbauthin asked me this question: why am I helping him? I don't know. I don't know why I'm helping him.
Maybe you feel some remorse? For
I have
something?
no idea.
You feel guilty for something. It's not to deal with this situation, and it just impacts. Maybe you relate to
I
it in
saw
some way?
Haleth kill an unarmed man trapped with his, and he has my greatsword. And he's killing things with my greatsword. He's probably gonna kill one of them with my greatsword.
Yes.
I can't just go ask him back for it.
We'll find you a new greatsword. That's not an issue.
That's not the point. It's not that I don't have a greatsword. It's that he has mine. And I gave him it. I gave him this weapon that he can use to get to a goal that I don't even necessarily agree with. Or do I agree? I don't know.
That's something I cannot determine for you. But I can tell you that you're not wrong for having this internal conflict.
Perhaps my mind could be abated if we go find Haleth right now.
Zeryl sort of,
Haleth
in
is
your
going
mind,
to
Zeryl
go-
says, I've been waiting about 7.5 minutes for you to say that, Master.
Do you want to go find him, or do you want to go down the floor?
Let's go find him. I don't know if I'm even ready to talk to the others yet.
Okay.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? Who's taking lead?
I'll take lead.
All right. Put yourself in there.
Watch your antlers, Zero. This is a small pass.
Zeryl says, I don't think this is going to be very comfortable for me. And you just like see his horns are scraping against the side of the rock wall. He's like, ow, it's really
I'm not
uncomfortable.
turning your head this way. There you go. Alright. I know he went south from here, so we're gonna go south.
Right. South Ho.
I have a natural sense of direction in this dark dungeon. I know this is south.
Okay. The walls of these corridors are both at the same time sort of naturally formed, and at the other hand, in some spaces, certainly not naturally formed. They are artificially created. You see the stonework is very old. But it's silent. You don't hear anything. The hallway is pretty wide, though. You guys were out for 10 minutes, and so with the additional 7 or 8 minutes from that conversation, you do see something at the end of this sort of long expanse, though. You see that the corridor verges north, but you also see on the floor an enormous pile of bones and what looks like armor spilled out all over the floor.
Where is it?
Right there.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, can't be that way, because that's where we came from.
Yes, and then we went that way.
Oh, we didn't go this way in this pathway, so let's go north here.
Okay. Make perception checks, both of you.
Does Neophilos make one?
You can make him make one, absolutely. That's fine. Okay. Nerthiost says, I think I hear something. And he sort of floats past you, like further north. Yes, yes. And he stops at this sort of bend of the corner, and he says, there is the sounds of death and destruction. I must. And he starts, like, he just, like, speeds up and floats down the corridor. Like, and he stops, and he makes this sort of weird sound, like, ah! And he starts looking south. Look! You run past Nerthiost, and you see that this room has now sort of spilled out into a completely new space. This particular space is a huge room compared to the ones that you've seen before. But bisecting this room, at the bottom of it, I should say, is Well, let's start with how it's lit. First of all, this is among all the dark corridors that you've seen in this level, lit by a single lantern resting in the middle of the floor. You see there are mine carts that are all around the room, and they seem to have some glittering heaps of some kind of metal or metallic ore in them. You do also see that there are the bodies of two of these creatures that you bested before called Nothics. They are just hewn from tip to toe, just like lying almost in half, with sort of purplish ooze spilling from relatively recent wounds. Amongst them, standing with a bared greatsword, is Haleth Gark, who has purple, like, just all over him. And he stands facing this really strange-looking creature. I don't believe, Qrevialur, that you have ever seen something like this before. It's possible, almost probable, that Ferros, that you have, because I think that you came across one of these creatures in the Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I remember this one.
So this is a creature that you know from your, and I believe when you rolled Arcana on it, that you found that it was some kind of a fiend known as a Mesoloth. You faced, I think, 3 or 4 of them before. But Haleth Gark is holding his own against this creature. You also happen to notice that in the corner of this room, you can't see, but you hear the sounds of another party, another person, panting as if exhausted. And now, let's go ahead and roll initiative. Okay. You got some appropriate fight music.
Holy shit, that's the highest initiative
I
rolled.
know, I was impressed. There we go.
Wow, they aren't together for once
Okay.
in the initiative rolls for the first time.
All right, Haleth. I've got Haleth. I know, right? They're usually together.
They're usually one apart, always. It's so weird. And
Okay.
they don't even have the same initiative, like a dex ticket.
All right, I think we got everybody, so let's go ahead and Qrevialur, you're first.
So I'm gonna get a better. I guess. Is that alright? So let me just. Make sure. There. And can I see what's panting now?
So when you walk into the room, you see Haleth, and his back is to you. He's facing off against this sort of strange, almost insect-like bug humanoid with these awful mandibles dripping some kind of greenish fluid. And you see in the corner of the room, there is a human who is almost all but decimated. He is just slashed here and there and everywhere. He's just got wounds all over him. And he's just like, his back is against the wall of this room, and he's just like panting. His hair is in his face. He's got a long beard, and his just eyes are red, and he's just completely out of it. That's what you see.
Alright, well. Qrevialur is just gonna assume that the person who has been his ally is still his ally. He is going to. He's on whatever this thing is. He is going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Wisdom save
On this creature?
on this thing.
Okie dokie. Wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
What's your DC?
14.
He fails.
Alright. So he takes 8 damage and must immediately use his reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into dangerous ground.
Okay.
So, if he has his reaction right now, he needs to move away.
He does.
Alright,
Does
so
that
that's
provoke
probably good.
that provokes opportunity
Yes,
attack?
it does, because that's his.
Absolutely.
He is moving.
So he moves away from you, correct? Okay.
It's not like I'm pushing him.
Right.
Because that would be me moving
Right.
him, but he is moving
Okay, so he just sort of like scuttles back against the wall, and Haleth has the opportunity to take an opportunity attack against him.
Yep.
Okay, so let's roll his greatsword attack. I can't type today. Plus. He hits with a 23 and rolls 2d6 plus 2. 9 damage. Just see something really quickly against this creature. Okay, very good.
That's in the Qrevialur's turn.
All right. Haleth sort of hears the noise from behind him and sort of scoots behind and sees you two. Well, sees Qrevialur standing there. He can't really see beyond him. Sort of grimaces for a sec and then looks at the human in the corner and says something under his breath. Qrevialur, you can make a perception check if you want.
Sure.
You can't hear what he says. But Haleth moves over to this creature and takes 2 swings. Misses on the first one. And does he hit the second one? He just hits on the second.
Ooh.
Okay, and he does some damage to this thing. Okay. The creature retorts, and what did you say that the spell does in terms of just beyond the frighten? Does it do anything else?
It doesn't frighten me.
No.
It
I'm sorry. The
doesn't
first
cause
attack that you did on this creature, you did a Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Dissonant
It doesn't
Whispers, right?
frighten, though. It just
takes psychic
just
damage and then.
takes the damage and must immediately.
Okay,
move
so it
away.
doesn't do anything with his
Doesn't
attacks,
do
right?
anything.
Got it. Cool.
Nope.
All right.
Everything's the same.
Super. So he's gonna lay into Haleth with 2 claw attacks. And he will miss on the first one, but he will hit on the second one and do some slashing damage to Haleth. And this is the first time you've seen that Haleth has all these like sort of darkish red streaks up and down his body. You assume that they're slashes or some kind of claw attacks. This creature has done some serious damage. Either that or the previous 2 creatures that he has seemingly done away with have done so as well. Else? Is there anything else? Yeah, that's it. And now Ferros, you're up.
Oh, here comes the dash.
Okay. Yeah, you just like vault into the room on Zeryl's back.
I got nothing else I can do.
Okay, very good.
There you go. That's my turn.
Nerthiost.
Wow. Alright, well. Alright.
What is Nerthiost gonna do?
Roll D4. Let's see. So third one on whatever this human is.
Okay.
So let's see. He's going to do a fear ray.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Excellent. He fails.
He is frightened for 1 minute.
Okay, I'll put
You
the.
can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. With disadvantage if the spectator is visible.
Okay, very good. Let's give you that one. Yeah. Perfect. So he's frightened. So that means. I got frightened. The condition.
Can't willingly move closer to the source of his frighten.
Okay.
And they have disadvantage on attack rolls.
On all attack rolls.
Yes.
If he could see the spectator. If he
Yeah.
can't see the spectator, then he wouldn't have
Oh, he definitely sees him.
Yeah.
He's floating right down in
Yeah.
the middle of the room there.
He's pretty creepy looking. He's probably just terrified of like, jeez, that tongue.
Okay. Yeah, he runs over. He doesn't run closer to Nerthiost. He just runs over to this creature. And you see he's actually he's not unarmed. He's got like a little axe. And the axe itself, as he sort of launches it through the air and slams it into this creature, starts to glow a little blue as it arcs through the air. And he slams it into the creature. Let's see if he does any damage to it. Oops, wrong one. He misses. Oh my gosh! Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, he misses. So the creature sort of like grabs his arm in the middle of the air, and it goes, and then throws the guy's arm back. And now, Qrevialur, it's your turn.
Alright. Let's see. Still can't get close enough, but I can definitely get closer. I believe it was right here. Check. Yep, that's speed. Alright, and then he is going to... He will do... Ooh, one of his favorites. Blindness, deafness.
On which?
On this weird creature thing.
Okay.
I need it to do the thing.
Okay.
Sorry, that doesn't. It is a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
DC 14.
Super duper. Yes, he passes that one.
Alright. Well, then that's the end of Qrevialur's turn.
Okay.
You forgot to reroll a saving throw for the Brighton.
I will do that right now. For the dude. That's a wisdom saving throw, right? What was your DC?
Have disadvantage. The DC is 13.
Yeah, he misses that one, so he's still frightened. He is still frightened. All right, so that's the end of Qrevialur's turn, yes? And now Haleth goes. Haleth will continue his assault on this creature. He's almost sort of like single-minded. He's not even paying attention to you, Ferros. He's not even looking at you. He's just trying to slash this creature into ribbons. So, here we go. Boom. Hits on the first attack, and misses on the second attack. All right. And does a certain amount of damage. Ferros, you're actually quite close to him, so you see these enormous attacks that Haleth usually makes with two hands, with the greatsword, that are enough to hew creatures apart. But as the attacks go into this creature's skin, you just see the sort of like they lance in and they like make very minute searing slashes into the skin, but they sort of most of the time they don't even go in more than half an inch. And all of this exertion is causing Haleth, although he is undead, to almost look like he's getting tired. At which point, the creature that you know as the Mesoloth goes ahead, and you see that the creature actually close up has 4 hands. And 2 of those hands are claws, and 2 of them grasp a sort of long trident, which he hasn't used up until this point. The creature then goes ahead and lances back with 2 of his claws and tries to grab Haleth with a grapple attack, essentially. So, it's opposed strength. Let's see what happens. By one, he is grappling him. And because he's grappled, he is restrained. So that gives this creature advantage on this attack with the other 2 hands. He lances this trident into Haleth Gark. Oh, good. Here comes the pain. 2-handed, too. Eesh. Ooh. Okay, that definitely hits with advantage. It only does 7 piercing damage, though, which is hilarious.
Funny enough, I'll take that damage.
You'll take the 7 damage? Okay, Ferros takes the 7 damage.
Oh.
Haleth, like, looks at you. He's waiting for, like, the pain. He's like... And then he looks over at you, and you see, like, three like, blood stains appear on your carapace there. And...
I'm, like, clutching my necklace.
Okay. Ferros, you're up.
Right. Well, you know, I got them slashes. 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
12.
12 slashing.
And then an additional 12 to hit, which I believe does not
Does
hit.
not hit, unfortunately.
So for 1 slash, give it to him. It's not doing much.
Unfortunately
I
not.
can't hit him the second time.
All right.
My turn.
That is your turn. Northios, you're up.
Right. Nerthio, seeing that everybody else is going for one target, is gonna focus on that target instead.
Okay.
He's not stupid. I can't do that one. I mean, I can, but it wouldn't be of any use. If it does it again. Okay,
Okay, that's better.
I was about to flip something. Alright. Okay, so this time on the big boy, paralyzing ray.
Okay, very good.
Constitution saving throw.
Sweetness and light. That's an 18.
That definitely passed the DC.
Lo siento, senor.
I don't know what that means, but thank
Spanish for I'm sorry.
you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, these beams are like, they're hitting the target, but he's just, he's like shrugging it off and making these awful sort of chittering noises as he does so. This guy he'll hit him with this axe of his and see if it actually does some damage here. Oh, there we go. Oh, but it has disadvantage, right? He has disadvantage because of this frightened condition, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not something Nertheos can drop.
Yeah, that's
so
fine. Yeah,
can't
he
drop
misses
it.
him with a 14.
Alright, well, he can redo the saving throw.
He's going to try to do that right now. Wisdom saving throw. Try to shrug off this frightened. He got a 19 this time.
He definitely passed.
All right, so he's no longer
Is
frightened.
that with disadvantage?
Oh, no, it doesn't. Is it disadvantage on the saving throw, too?
Yes, because
Oh,
he can
no.
see the spectator within range.
Oh, so that he doesn't with a 4 with disadvantage. So he's still frightened.
Poor guy.
He's like shivering, all these like beads of sweat are coming off of this guy. He's like,
Imagine,
it's not doing a thing.
he's like shifting. He's like.
Totally. Qrevialur, you're up.
Alright, Qrevialur is going to. Do we get flanking bonuses?
Yes, you do. As do monsters.
Would this give me flanking?
Yes, because it's a target that they can see. So technically, even though he is frightened and he has disadvantage, you do get the advantage from flanking on a creature with frightened.
Qrevialur's
Only
gonna
if he's an
have a
ally.
bit of fun.
He is
with this.
technically an ally in this case because
Now,
you're
let me
both
just
fighting
check
the same creature.
One thing: does rage regain on a short rest or a long
I
rest?
think you get rage back on a short rest.
Must
sure
finish
it's
a long rest. It says right at the
Oh,
bottom. You must
really?
finish a long rest before you can. Rage
Ah,
again.
see, this is how much I know about barbarians, which is shit.
I bet it's probably a higher level thing. That would make sense, but
That makes
he does
sense.
not gain it.
All right, there you go.
And I'm assuming he doesn't regain. I'm pretty sure Bardic Inspiration is also a long rest.
No, Bardic Inspiration I know is short
Short,
rest.
short rest. That's a short rest.
That I remember
Yeah,
because
no,
I
it says
play
long
bards
rest
a lot.
Right here, you regain
What?
any expended uses when you finish a long rest.
I think he's right, actually.
I
Look, the
just
link.
put it in chat. Yep, it's near the bottom.
Oh shit, I've been doing this wrong. Yay! I suck.
Well, he has neither of his fancy abilities
Okay.
that are. So he's just gonna hit regularly with this sword.
Okay.
12 hit?
12 does not hit.
Well, 13.
13 does not hit.
What about a 23?
23 will hit.
That's 17 damage.
Magical weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And then his other sword does a 17 hit.
17 does not hit.
All right. So assuming that he keeps slashing, and like one time his right sword bounces off. They tries to go with the left sword, that also bounces off. But then he sees a weak point and then he jabs in.
Beaut. Frightened is only disadvantage on attacks and ability checks, not
It's-
saving throws.
It's specific
It's
for the
specific.
spectator.
Yep. This is a specific thing for the spectator. It's part of his direct.
So technically, what the spectator hit him with was not a frightened condition.
Oh, it wasn't the frightened condition. Okay.
I thought it was
Well, he
too.
does hit him with the frightened condition, but it has extra things on top of that.
Most frightened conditions do.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Roger
Most
Dodger.
frightened conditions do.
I was confused, so I went to look.
You hit her with a
Yeah.
confused ray.
Watching quietly. Hi.
Hey, don't worry. That's what we all thought at first, because we were like, no, you don't get dismantled.
It's okay. The more the more chances I have to kill off Nertheost and make this game so much more simple, no problem. Moving on, Qrevialur.
You can't kill his second.
Why
kid.
would I kill
That it was
second
just
kid?
Qrevialur's turn. What do you mean?
Qrevialur's done. Haleth Gark goes. Haleth will slash Isitwes with Mr. Greatsword. He'll hit on that
The
with a
Mr.
24. Mr. Greatsword. And he misses on the second one. God damn. I'm not rolling like I did last week. What's up with this, Haleth Gark?
Send it again.
Come on, Haleth Gark. Do what you're supposed to do, Haleth Gark. All right.
Seems like you're gonna complain whether you're.
Oh, he was
No,
actually.
it's
Well,
like
no,
Rob
wait.
always
I'm sorry.
goes
He
back.
couldn't do that because he was grappled and restrained. So he would
Yeah,
have
he just-
disadvantage.
Yeah, he would.
He would have disadvantage. So he misses on the first
Attack.
attack with a 17. Okay, so that's the first attack. So then second attack. That's it. That's a normal. And he hits with the second attack with a 21.
Wow.
Okay, so he doesn't get the crit.
Damage for the first one. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Okay,
So close.
so he's like, down. So he hits at least and does. He doesn't have a magic sword, so he only does 5 damage on this creature. But it's getting to look like it's almost dead. And that's when the creature takes 2 attacks, both with advantage, with this trident on Halfgark. Oh god. Here we go. 1, 2. Both with advantage. 24 and 16. So both hit Halfgark. And they do a total of 13 piercing damage. Anything to say, Ferros?
I mean, I don't know what damage each of them did. They were just 2 hits, so.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
He's
have-
looking like poop. He's looking like the more poopy that you've ever seen the poop before. He's got like the trident went right through him that time. And he's still held. And let's see if he can make a strength check to actually come out of this thing. Because
Can he even do that?
he was supposed to do it on his turn.
Oh. Okay.
So technically he should have used his action to come out of it, but he didn't. So you know what? No, he doesn't. He's just
what I
he's just
figured.
like, fuck this creature, I'm gonna slash you to death, and that's when you let go of me. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Seems like the type of guy who would fight instead of.
For real. 100%. Ferros, you're up.
I'm a fighter.
He's a
Here
barbarian.
we go.
He's not a.
24 to hit. I know the 13 doesn't. So
24 will hit.
go for the first slash. Wow, this is doing nothing. This is really doing nothing. That's my turn.
Okay. It did do something. It just didn't do a whole lot. But this creature is on its last legs. Nerthiost.
Alright. Nerthiost? That's right. 4. Ooh! My favorite.
What's this one?
My new favorite. Wounding Ray.
Oh shit.
Constitution saving throw.
But he takes half damage, even if he
Yep.
even if he succeeds.
This is the only one that will do damage, that will do something no matter what.
Okay.
That makes me happy.
So it doesn't really matter because this creature only has 1 hit point, but you didn't hear me say that. So let's just for shits and giggles, let's see how badly you blow him away. Constitution save throw, right? Here we go. So what was your DC on that one?
13.
Yeah, he saved with a crit too. He got a 23, but it doesn't really fucking matter because
Doesn't matter.
he does at least 1 hit point worth of damage, and so this creature
So I imagine
gets a big ol' hole in
that,
him.
like,
Go ahead.
as this creature's trying to put another stab into Halfgark, glances up for a second, like, what's that noise? And then this beam just goes straight through the middle of his nose, right between his eyes, and goes through him.
Wonderful.
And then immediately just starts dripping down this spew out of it, and he just slumps over.
I love it. Wonderfully told.
Maybe onto Halfgark. Maybe he slumps onto Halfgark.
I think
a
that would be
little bit.
fine. I think Half is now underneath this creature, so I think that's totally acceptable. So for all intents and purposes, with that done, and this creature decimated and destroyed, Half sort of shoves this creature off of him, and let's see if this human has the ability to get rid of this frightened condition. Finally, here we go. That's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Still a disadvantage.
Jesus, man, 5. He's still frightened of Nerthiost. He's like, he's literally against the wall like this. He's like, his eyes are locked on Nerthiost from across the room.
Theos can't stop.
Okay. And that's when Haleth picks himself up and says,
You want to stop back there?
he says actually nothing to
Talking
you.
him? Wait. Kraw?
Hello?
Can we switch to the other group?
Pardon?
Is that possible? Can we switch to the other group and then come back to this?
You want to switch to the other group?
No, just stay with this. Just stay with this. It's fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Is
I would say we should.
Kraw's video just went bloop?
Yeah, he's lagging.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Oh, he's back.
Hooray! Okay. Shall we continue? Shall we continue? So Haleth says to you, Ferros, he says, so you decided to catch up. Great.
Yes.
And
What, is that a problem?
the Revenant sort of just nods, and he says, thank you. And he turns in all of his
Is this one of them?
grisly beauty from the corpses around him to this wounded warrior who's like literally just against the wall, heaving with breath, and his voice is even colder than usual. He says, Rex, my old friend Rex, I never did get to give you a fair farewell. And even more so, horror. Like when he looks
Qrevialur-
at Haleth and recognizes who he is,
Did Qrevialur start to do
the
something?
warrior's eyes just like widen. And it's immediately tamed. And like he, for a second, he comes out of this sort of fear, this horror of looking across the room because his eyes focus on Haleth. And he steels himself as he looks at Haleth and says, you. Go ahead and get it over with, you ugly son of a... And like, without any grace, Haleth just leaps onto this guy who he's called Rex. And then he just shoves him to the ground and starts pounding him just with these enormous blows. Raining blows
Qrevialur
onto
do
this
anything?
creature, onto this person. What exactly do you want to do, Qrevialur?
Well, Qrevialur was going to try to grapple him before he leaped.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check. Let's see how quickly you can hit him. Because you're right there, but let's see how quickly you can get.
Never mind.
Yeah, you are not in time, unfortunately. Haleth just leaps onto this guy, full bore, and ground and pounds him. He's a much bigger individual than Rex is. Rex is sort of scrappy and muscular, but Haleth is like 7 feet tall. And the next thing you know, he's on him, and he is just pounding him into the stone, and blood starts to spout out of this creature, and you just hear. Ferros, you want to do anything?
No.
Okay.
Can Qrevialur try again?
At this point in time,
Now
you
that he
can
has
certainly
full
try.
reaction?
I'm just gonna
Qrevialur
get off
will
Zero.
Take a step closer and probably try to grapple Haleth.
Make a strength check.
A strength check, not an athletics check?
Athletics, if you have it, yeah, sure. This will be opposed. Okay, 14, huh?
Really bad. That was really bad for me.
That's a 19. So you grab Haleth, and he just sort of shoves you off, and he just continues. And eventually you start hearing the sound of this individual on the ground, like going... and the sounds of, like, hitting muscle start turning into cracks. Like wet thumps. And his hands, which were... You know, before they were just like covered in red, they just are now like all the way down his arms. And he just stands up, and his face is a red ruin. Like he is literally coated in blood. And the figure on the ground is totally still.
Well, that's two. How many more are there?
One more. Then I'm done. And he walks away.
This you said he had an axe?
Yes, he did.
Did he have a two-handed or a one-handed?
It was a great axe.
It was a great axe.
Mhm.
All right. Do we have anything else on him of value?
Let's
Anything?
take a look. Let's see what he had. Da, 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 da.
Are you gonna take the great axe, by the way?
No.
It looks like he has.
I guess
I guess
shall grab the
Qrevialur
great
will
axe
pick
then.
it up and just like look over at Ferros. He's like, "Here, have this." And I'm like, while he's looking through with his other
He
hand.
had plate, but it's literally bashed in so many
Okay,
places.
plate.
It's completely unusable. Like it's got hand-sized
So, yeah.
fist prints in it, like all over it. Like Haleth beat through the metal armor into this guy,
So he has
cracking him in
nothing
half,
else.
essentially like an egg.
Except flat and a great axe. Flat plate armor and didn't have any gold or anything.
He has no gold. No, that is correct.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna look up and down the sacks. Is
How
this
many-
a regular great axe?
You want to look at the axe?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
does.
Yeah, I mean, it looks at this point in time, it looks like just a very nice axe. It's not glowing or anything like it used to, but it looks like a very well honed axe, large one, bearded axe kind of deal.
I'll try to find a sheath for makeshift my own, and then put it on my back
Okay.
and get on zero.
Okay, very good.
Are there's so what are these ores? How many are them?
So there are just as many as you see here on the map. There are 4 carts, essentially.
Mhm.
And they're full of a coppery kind of ore substance. You assume that it's either copper or something akin to it.
Is it the same thing that he found before?
No, it is totally separate. The ore chunks that you found before were sort of silvery.
hmm
These are not that color.
Well, can you take a bunch of them?
Sure.
Alright. And there's nothing else in the minecart?
Let's take a look. Ba-ba-bum. Don't think so. Oh, I beg your pardon. He does have something else besides the axe. He has some rope. He has a 30-foot long coil of rope. He has some rations. 2 days worth of rations.
Alright.
He's got a flask of oil. This is all in a backpack that's literally in the corner of the room.
Oh, well, I'm gonna take the whole back.
Great. In the backpack is a 30-foot coil of rope, 2 days of rations, a flask of oil, a pouch containing 13 gold pieces,
Oh, cool. 13 gold.
and a red fluid in a bottle.
Alright, I guess we'll take the red fluid out and be like, Ferris, do you know what this is?
What's a red fluid in a bottle?
Oh! I couldn't tell!
You swirl it around for a sec, and I mean, you've been around the block, you guys. You've seen what potions of healing look like, so you're pretty sure
it
this
just
is a
regular
potion of
old-
healing.
Yeah,
Regular
it's just some red liquid.
Is it just a regular old healing potion?
It is a regular old healing potion.
Alright. Alright, and then... So I got the rope, potion of
A
healing,
pretty red liquid.
rations. I didn't notice. I thought it was Hughes.
Just regarding the ore, really quickly, Qrevialur. The ore,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like
I have a backpack, I can take even more.
you could certainly. Each of the chunks weighs
Going.
about 10 pounds, just like the
Just
chunks
gonna
that you
take a
had
bunch.
before. But they're probably only worth about a gold piece each.
Oh, he's not taking them for gold.
Oh, okay. How many are you going to take?
A lot.
Sure.
Not enough to be over encumbered.
Okay.
So let's see. I don't know how weight is calculated exactly.
Well, how many do you want to take?
I'll just say a lot, because that's the best answer I can give.
Okay. There's like 1,000 of these chunks in
Yeah, I
and
don't think I
amongst.
can take. How about I think 5.
Okay, 5 is good.
That's fine.
5 is good. So that's 50 pounds worth of ore.
And if he searches through the minecarts, there's nothing else.
That's it. Just ore.
All right, 5 copper ish ore. Now he came down here with like 10 pounds of stuff, and now he has over 100 pounds.
Congratulations.
Of jargon.
All right.
Hey, but now he has a backpack, so that's nice.
Now I have a machine
Over
gun.
his-
Ho, ho, ho. All right.
Don't give me a machine gun too.
No, that would be bad. Haleth continues his march out of the room, though. He sort of stumbles for a second, puts his hand to his side, rights himself, and continues to walk out of the room.
Is
You
this
sure you can't take a break either?
I'll be fine.
What?
Is this actually in the inn? This thing right here? This backpack looking
That
thing?
is exactly it.
Alright. Does it have anything in
No,
it?
that is his backpack. That was...
Oh, that was... Okay. That was the backpack.
Mhm.
Alright.
Yep.
And all the 4 minecarts have the same thing in them, right? Even if he searches around in
You
them?
can certainly root around, but it would take you about, probably, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes to look through all of them if you want to.
Nah.
And Haleth
Easy
stalks
on the
on, leaving little pools of very dark, reddish fluid behind him as he walks.
He's leaving behind potions of healing.
Hey, now you're thinking with.
Portals?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Thinking with potions.
Haleth, he stops for a second, and he goes, 2 down, 1 to go. You know, I don't even know where the third one is, but I still can feel her presence still here somewhere. I don't. And like he just stumbles and puts his hand against the wall. And then just slides down the wall and like sits on the ground. I don't know what does this mean? I don't. And then he looks up at you, Ferros, and he just like his body just sort of slides like, and he stops moving.
Is he breathing?
He never did breathe.
Okay, well... Is he still making any motions?
He is not moving.
At all? You think he's dead?
I mean, that much is obvious. He's been dead for quite a while, Qrevialur.
You
He just needed a rest. I'm sure of it.
are
Well,
so
unfortunately, that means we have to take a short rest here. Congratulations, us.
Sure.
I'm gonna move him over so he's not visible from the north-south hallway. I'm just gonna move him over to the east.
Okay. You drag him over. And he's just sort of like lying there, Weekend at Bernie style. Just like on the floor.
Well, now we got a lot of time to wait.
And that's where we're going to switch to our other group. Okay.
Hopefully, the more cheerful group.
We shall see. We shall see. All right. So, Talron, Zeke, and Elbauthin. You guys have just defeated an army of drow. Where are you going to go next? Let's go to
first-
Disney World.
We're
We have
gonna
a body
loot.
to loot. We have a
We're
body
gonna
to
loot the hell out of this guy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Looty loot loot.
Looty loot loot.
Okay, so this drow, this amongst the army of drow that you have defeated, this one seemed to be
The most badass.
the most badass. He knocked an arrow out of the air. He was parrying left and right until Elbauthin put a sword through his face.
And was eating some crispy
Racist.
chimera.
Yes.
Crispy
At the same time, he's like, "What's up?"
Where'd you get the extra bits?
Mm-hmm. For real.
Oh, we definitely made so much chimera jerky. No
But
bit
yeah.
of that chimera went unused.
I'm
Where's he
taking his
got it?
head. That's the thing, remember? I'm taking his head.
Yes, you're taking his head and I'm looting the shit out of him.
Saw.
Ooh,
So
what else does
while
he have?
Elbauthin cuts his head off, I'm checking him to see what he's got.
Okay. Let's see what he's got. What's he got? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the drow?
What's in the drow? That's so wrong.
Buy it.
you're selling.
So Matt, I'm putting a Drow elite head in my inventory.
Please go ahead. Amongst all the other, you have a statue head, right? And now you've got a Drow elite head in your thing. Wonderful.
Why do you need a drow head?
Why does anyone need a
He's
Drow?
gonna go. He's gonna go show it to the hobgoblins. I know where he's going with this.
Oh. That's smart.
Okay.
Politics.
Yeah.
There is no tag in this guy's armor that dictates who he is. Like, it's not like,
Yep.
if lost, please return to John Smith or anything like that. So you don't know who you've killed, but he does seem to have had some kind of indication as he was fighting you with House Orindar. I think he said in
Yes.
Undercommon to you, Talron. You're the one who speaks Undercommon, or was it Zeke? Or
It was me.
That's Talron.
Super duper. Yes, he mentioned something about House Orindar, which
House over
Orindar,
Orindar.
which I think you overheard.
Talron, what was he saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
The usual death threats and all that.
So
I mean,
did-
you know, the
Just
whole
death threats?
the military stuff that people usually say, and then they're gonna kill us, and yada yada yada.
Do you know who they are?
No idea. I've never been down here. It's
and
not,
he didn't say anything to you?
like I said, he was making death threats.
Okay. Well, I mean, this armor looks like it's
Of
indicative
House,
of.
something about House Rindar. I cannot pronounce it correctly.
Oh.
Oh,
So Matt, can I do a history check on that?
Absolutely.
That was also the guys the hobgoblins were talking about when we ran into them upstairs. Y'all
I
remember?
think you did a history check
Oh,
back there.
the Ori-
So,
Oh,
I think you did a.
I don't know if we
Oreo?
did I don't think we did a history check on that actually.
All right, I'll
They
give
just,
you the
like,
benefit of the doubt.
They just powered past us, and we were like, "Oh, okay."
With a 14,
The Oreo
Elbauthin,
guys.
you don't know, and I think this is pretty much the same from what I remember the last time you did a history check on House of Rindar. It doesn't sound familiar to you. You'd think, hey, we're all elves here, right? We should know stuff about each other. Not even remotely, unfortunately.
nah.
But I'll tell you what you do find inside this drow's pockets. What does he have in his pockets?
Packets.
You find, well, beyond what he already has, which is this awesome sword,
And crossbows.
which is a short sword. It's like a scimitar-like short sword.
Okay.
It seems to have some kind of sort of dark black liquid on it, almost as if sort of like just sort of massaged into the metal itself. It's not oil. It's clearly some kind of poison.
Definitely poison.
He also has this a set of, and you can flavor it however you want, either 2 hand crossbows or a hand crossbow that can shoot twice.
Okay.
Elbauthin, I think that might be your thing right here.
What thing?
The hand
The
crossbow.
two-hand-
You
yeah,
interested in that? The 2-shot hand crossbow.
I don't think I'm proficient in that, right, Matt?
In the hand crossbow, you
No.
can
I
take a
think
look
you
at.
are.
Definitely are.
I believe
Yeah.
rogues are proficient in most,
Ranged weapons.
like light. If it says light crossbow, then it's hand crossbow.
Okay.
And does he
Ooh, I
This
have
think
one's like a
bolts?
s-
Does he
No,
have
hand
bolts?
crossbows are different than light crossbows.
They are different, but the proficiency I believe is the same.
No, then even I can use
No,
that.
it's actually not.
Let me
Oh,
double
you
check.
want to use it? then?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
it's
I wanted. I'm pretty sure I can use. If the short sword is considered a simple weapon, I think I can use that.
Okay, so
They all
rogues
have
get-
crossbows.
Rogues get proficiency in specifically hand crossbows, and that's the only type of crossbow.
There you go. I know because I watched Critical
There you
Role.
go.
Okay, so
They
I'm
don't
gonna
get
take
proficiency
the
in light
hand
or-
crossbow, but does he have those poison bolts?
Ah, good question. He does in fact have. Do me a favor. Roll 1d6, please.
Sure.
Tell you how many he's got.
I mean, I know how to make arrows, but I don't know anything about crossbow bolts.
He happens to have 4 crossbow quarrels, which have the same blackish substance
No, I
as.
can't.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that and go look at the other bodies for more crossbow bolts.
For more bolts.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say each of them
Um,
has total. Right, you killed 12 of them. I'm gonna give you half. I'm gonna give you 6. Right, so I'll give you 6 more from the 12 that you killed.
Well,
Right, so I have 10 crossbow bolts.
You got it.
Right. I cannot use a short sword. It is not a simple weapon. It's a martial.
That is correct. It is a martial weapon.
Well,
So can you use that, Talron?
I mean,
Can
I
you use a short sword?
could. I mean, I could, but I summon the
seem-
glaive.
I know, but it also seems like it's fancy, so maybe it might be worth having around. Like, it's poisoned. Your glaive isn't
Yeah.
poisoned, and I can't use it.
I mean, I wish I could put poison on my weapon, but I don't think that works.
Well, it seems like this weapon is intrinsically poisoned. It seems like it's part of the blade itself. I mean, if not, I'll hang on to it and sell the damn thing. But if somebody can kill stuff with it, I am happy to let somebody kill stuff with it.
What is it?
It's a very.
It's a scimitar-like short sword
It's very poisonous.
that looks poisonous to me. Like, look at this blade, and I show him like the inky black blade. I'm like, this is not a normal short sword.
The one thing you also find is attached to his cloak, you find a brooch in the shape of a spider. Looks to be made out of some kind of sort of dark metal.
That I take.
Grab it.
I take the
What-
black spider brooch. So we talked about me wearing a spider. I think this is quite snazzy, though I'm not going to wear it while we talk to the hobgoblins. I'm just going to stick it in my bag.
Good idea.
Well,
Yeah.
also, I'm gonna turn around. I look at the spider corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Can we milk that spider? I
Oh
want
my
some
god.
spider.
Oh man. You can
Oh,
you can milk
I want the
anything.
spider
You can milk
now.
anything, Greg.
I mean, can I just grab some of its chitin and make it into more darts?
That might take some time.
Well, he can take the chitin with him and then
I
make
have
it into
nipples,
darts the
Greg.
next time we rest.
Good man. You got the
So
reference.
Matt, what is the damage of the crossbow with the poison darts?
So a hand crossbow does. Where is it? I think.
Elbauthin, did you take that?
I think.
poison
Oh, it's
short sword, or-
1d6. Excuse me, 1d6 damage plus your dexterity modifier, and then you do additional poison damage if it is a poisoned quarrel.
So what's the poison damage?
I will
so I
tell
can add
you.
it as damage.
I will
two.
tell you right now. This is a. Oh, I think this is actually one of the cool things is that there is a drow poison down here that's specifically supplemental. Yeah, here we go. Drow poison. So if you shoot a creature with drow poison, they must make a Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 1 hour. The poisoned condition itself. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature becomes unconscious while poisoned in this way, which is what happened to dear old
Yeah.
Talron.
That's some strong shit right there.
Mhm.
So that is what happens with poison.
Body H2O.
Elbauthin, did you take the shiny short sword, or am I hanging on to it to sell? All right, I'm hanging on to it to sell it to him. Just putting it in my inventory. 'cause
So
I can't
Matt,
fight
I'm
with it.
gonna. How much damage is that poison?
So the poison itself doesn't do damage. It only imparts the poisoned condition. That is what drow poison does.
Didn't Talron get a whole bunch of extra damage when he got hit?
So that was a different
poison?
attack, it seems, from this short sword versus the hand crossbow. The hand
Still hurts
crossbow
like
knocked him
hell.
out, if you remember. The short sword, the
Well-
poisoned short swords are not drow poison. They are just a poison, right? Because drow uses lots of different kinds of poison, but they have a specific kind of poison that knocks you out.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that, and we'll just assume that those bolts are poisoned.
Sounds good.
And it gets 2 attacks.
Yes, you do, with the hand crossbow. Actually, no, wait, I beg your pardon. You don't get 2 attacks. The drow got 2 attacks because that's the way his attacks works. But if you use a hand crossbow, that's just your standard action to attack.
Would you just say that's because that's the way drows run?
Are you even here?
No.
Are you even here right now? I don't think you are.
So Matt, the reason why I'm asking is because when we were fighting, you said they had some special thing where they shot out 2 bolts.
That's right, because that's the way I flavored the drow having 2 attacks on the crossbow.
They are special.
But I don't get the 2 attacks.
Unfortunately not.
All right, so
Hey,
we
we're-
have the hand
we're
crossbow, the
badasses.
short sword, and the spider brooch. Did he have anything else on?
That is it.
All right, I think
All
between the
right.
spider brooch and his head, we can definitely prove we were here. I checked the other bodies to see if they had any money or anything.
They did not have any money. Most
right.
most
Oh,
soldiers
clever
don't
shot.
keep money on.
Most of them are frozen, burnt, or decapitated.
or like
well, you know,
all
one
over
of them
the place.
didn't have any pants on earlier, so like, I don't know if it's casual Friday. And
Are you
maybe
trying to
they had
steal
their
some
spending
pants?
money.
Tell you what, I will
like
give
my-
you some money though, because I feel like you guys deserve a little bit of money here. So I'm gonna give you some gold for this shit.
Yay!
Let's see. How many did you kill? You killed 12, right?
Oh yeah.
14, I thought.
12 drow, 5 giant spiders, and then the elite. You got all the shit from the elite. Let's see how much gold you get from the drow. Go ahead and roll.
You sure? I could remember it was 7 spiders.
No, definitely not 7.
No, it was 5.
Definitely not 7.
Oh.
So
It felt like a
roll
lot.
a 1d8. Whoever wants to try their luck.
I got it. I'll try my
All
luck.
right.
I failed.
No.
So so 2 times 12. So you get 24 gold.
All right, so that's
Pieces.
8 apiece. I'm gonna share after I dig it all off their bodies. I'd share it out so everyone gets 8.
There you go.
All right, gang. What's the plan?
Well, here we are.
In
I
the
mean-
middle of this corpse field.
You look at each other. You're just
In the
covered
middle
with
of this-
blood. You're like, well, here we are.
I mean, I, for one, am not ready to march into Hobgoblin Central until I've had myself a full rest. But maybe we should poke our heads around and see if there's anything interesting where these drow were camped out.
That is true. I saw some of them were coming in from over
They-
here.
And like some came in from down here. So there's 2 possible places to go look. Which way you want to look first? I mean, down
Well-
there's definitely at least a toilet. One guy came out without any pants and looked real surprised to find us.
Well, I don't trust the pantsless, so I think I'd rather go to the.
You don't trust Mr. No Pants.
Yes, I'd rather go to my left.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Well,
some
that's just
stealth.
me personally, but
I mean, I
you know.
feel like we should stick together in our current state. I'm also.
I
gonna roll-
agree.
I'm gonna roll some
Matt,
stealth.
I saw-
It's a
I saw your stealth
That is like a
investigation.
perception.
That is your perception. Okay. Which is the same, right? Because it's the same modifier. Wisdom,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Crit on that perception check. Good job.
There you go. I just rolled stealth for myself as well.
We like that stealth. Let's see if Mr. Clonkers can do stealth.
Come on, clink, clink.
Oh,
Come on, buddy. You can do it. I believe
I-
in you.
I'm sorry, I don't have.
I know you're in noisy armor, but I.
Mr. Clonkers. Oh my God, he did it. He did it, folks.
You know what it is?
He did
You
it.
got so much
We're
spider.
invisible.
You're so covered in spider guts from hiding under the giant spider.
That's it.
dampening all of them.
100%. You just hear, instead of
Now
clonk, clonk,
everybody
clonk,
needs
you
to
hear
roll
squish,
perception.
squish, squish.
Perception and
Alright.
investigation, guys. Perception
Alright.
and
These are
investigation.
going to be terrible. I
Oh.
see nothing.
You're not
Oh,
looking too
maybe I
hard, I
missed
guess is the point with investigation.
And even more nothing.
That's okay.
Wait, am I also doing those?
If you choose to, right? Elbauthin is asking you to take the time to
To
look
take the time to
around
look and
and
investigate.
investigate
Nope.
your surroundings, and you are just, you're like, I'm looking
Nope.
at the gold.
Talron and I are so.
You're looking at the
I'm
cool
gonna
shit.
investigate. I'm gonna investigate. I'll go forward.
Okay.
All right,
You
you
do
take
your
the-
thing.
Man,
you
Zeke, you
pick
were a
point.
badass.
You did pretty well yourself, babe.
Nah, I can't take all the glory.
I don't think any of us can take all the glory. That was decidedly a team effort.
Elbauthin, with the perception that you rolled, which was awesome, as you start passing by this area here, you start to hear noises off to the west. You hear these very strange sort of scrabbling noises and like almost
Okay.
sort of like they're not really growling, they're more like hissing and gurgling noises.
I don't have any spell slots, by the way.
I got a couple, but they're not the powerhouses.
Shit.
All right, let's just take a look. All right.
All right, we're all
So-
stealthy. We can look without. Yes.
You peer around the corner and you see that there is a door directly to the west right here. And that's where you hear the sounds of the scratching and gurgling and hissing.
I don't like that noise at all.
And I see there's more. I mean, we killed a bunch of spiders. But there's more spider webs down here.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Okay, I'm gonna peer through very carefully, Matt. All stealthed out.
Okay, the door is actually locked from the outside.
Ooh,
Think you could do something about that?
I
pick
can, but I can't do it. Oh, I could do that too. That I can do. I was like, I can't magically do it quietly.
it. I can
I
pick
mean-
it.
I can also pick it. So who wants to
Yeah.
who wants to pick the lock?
So
I'll try.
wait, picking locks is a natural thing for everyone?
I mean, let's just say it's come in handy.
It says thieves' tools, but I forget how to use it.
You click on the thieves tools, and it does it for you.
You did it exactly right.
Boom.
Yeah, but I have a question mark and a query.
Oh, don't worry about that. You just clicked it, and
Yeah,
it
those are
worked
just
just
great.
fine. You just rolled it again. You rolled it a third time.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we'll take the first
There we
one.
go.
The first one, you stick your thing into the lock, and it just goes ping, and you're like, shit. I think I lost one of my thieves' tools.
What about an 18?
Zeke sort of shoves you out of the way a little bit, and she's like, let me show you how criminals do it. Crack. Cracks and knuckles. You just don't even look. You just like click, and
I just look over Elbauthin's shoulder as I'm watching.
and as you turn the lock and you hear clack, you hear that the sounds inside, the hissing and the gurgling and the scratching, get a lot louder.
I immediately jump out of the line of sight.
I'm gonna summon my blade.
I mentally message Talron and say, get around the corner.
Oh, right.
There you go.
I'm just gonna peek in.
Okay, when you open the door, fingers, like long, scaly, clawed fingers, like reach around the edge of the door and yank it open. And when they yank it open, Elbauthin, you step back 5 feet, go back where you were, just for a sec, just because I want to show you what you see. The door opens, and actually the first thing is not so much what you see, but what you smell. Because as the door is immediately yanked open, this almost awful, like the worst smell you could possibly imagine, just comes through the door like a wind from like the worst sewer. And standing there in front of you are 3 lizard-like creatures that are sort of hunched over with long fangs, and these awful sort of half-molted skins with clouded eyes. And they just have these sort of like long purplish red tongues that flit through the air like lizards. They stand there. They're about 5 feet tall. There are 1, 2, 3 that you can see. There are about 6 of them, but you can see beyond those 6, there's maybe another half a dozen or so more. So let's go ahead and let me just open this up. Whoop. And let's roll initiative.
No. They don't. Do they see us?
Yeah, you're standing right in front of the door.
No, dude.
Yeah, Hey, he warned us.
I asked to open the door carefully.
You did?
Yes, I did. And if I would have said no if I was going to trigger an attack, dude.
So
Seriously.
I understand. I completely agree and understand. So the way it works is that you guys went to the door, you opened the door. They heard you guys unlocking the door. These drow specifically locked these fucking things in here for a reason. You opened the door, and they came out the door expecting there to be drow. They're not drow, but they still are awful monsters and want to kill you. You're standing in front of the doorway, they're gonna attack. You're not, like, invisible.
Well,
that's just the way it is.
I keep slow. Okay, I'm gonna try this.
It's
Who
fine.
wants to play whack-a-mole?
You guys are just fine. I think you'll do just
There we go.
fine. Here we go.
That didn't really help.
Fine.
All right.
Fucking bullshit, dude.
We'll be fine.
Here we go.
I do have one option for usefulness.
Fireball?
Hopefully. I have a wall.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
That can always
do have a wall.
help.
Oh, thank fuck.
A wall of
So Talron, Zeke, Elbauthin, could you roll initiative for me, please?
good. They're below me, so we got a shot, y'all.
Is he still there?
Thank you, Zeke.
Hello?
And this
Uh,
has Alex left.
Did Alex leave?
Oh, no.
my God.
Okay, you guys are alone by yourself.
Alex?
Alex, come
Oh, wait, he's back.
He's back.
There he is.
He's back.
You
I
need
had
some
screwed
alcohol.
my eyes.
Taking a shot.
All right.
Are you okay?
Matt,
Yes, sir.
we need to talk. Can we jump to another channel, please?
Can we do it after the fight?
That's the thing, man.
Yeah, sure.
Listen,
Let's talk about it for a sec.
I said I was opening it quietly with the intention of not triggering an encounter.
I completely agree with you. I totally agree.
Now that's what I expected. Like this whole, I'm happy to start a fight when I'm trying to avoid a fight, and we could have avoided a fight. It's total bullshit, man.
Okay, so I completely understand how you're feeling here, Alex. But I mean, the case that I'm trying to make here is a simple one.
It's not a case, dude. It's bullshit.
Okay, Alex, let's talk about this in a different time, man. I understand how you're feeling.
This is why I wanted to switch over to a private chat.
Right, I completely get you. But we're streaming right now, and so they would probably get my audio when we're streaming. Right.
All right.
So let's talk about it at a different time. Cool. I got you though. Here we go. Go for it. I need you to roll initiative for me, Elbauthin. Okay.
Well, Elbauthin is more dexterous than me.
That's up to you. You guys can choose either Elbauthin or Talron to go first. You guys can choose.
It doesn't matter. Talron.
All right, Talron, you are first.
All right.
Is he still stealth? Are we still stealth?
You guys are stealthed. I mean,
Yeah, we're all still stealthed.
Yeah.
You could do something, and I'm just going to give you. This is a gimme here, right? The door is not like pulled off its hinges, right? It's not like these guys are like, fuck you, I'm going to wrench open the door, stream through, and just eat your face, right? The door is just open.
Is it possible?
That's the reason why we have initiative, right? So that people can do things in a 6-second pace for you to do.
Is it possible for me to? Is it possible for me to run on over and like shut the door like immediately?
You could certainly do so.
No, don't do that because you're gonna break your stealth. Let me do it.
Well, actually.
Will you break yourself?
So I don't think he'll break his stealth because he'll have to do something quickly, but the door will be closed, right? They'll see the door closing.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right.
Zeke has a plan.
I mean, also, it's worth a shot if we can close the fucking door and lock it again.
Yeah, seriously. So.
We got thieves' tools.
So,
I can unlock it with thieves' tools. We can lock it with thieves' tools.
So yeah, I'm gonna like quickly grab the door and like shut it.
Okay. So that'll be your action to shut the door. And
yeah.
I will put the door back where it belongs. Boop! There you go. The door has come back to where it is.
All right.
And as you do so, like the door, you just hear immediately like about 6 or 7 awful voices going, and the door's scraping through the door.
Yeah, I'll use the fuse tool.
If you fail, I have a chance.
Okay. Talron, go ahead and make a.
Hey!
Okay, that's perfect.
Holy
Do me a favor, Talron. Before Elbauthin actually does make that thieves' tools check, make a strength check for me because the door is literally being pulled right by several creatures. Okay.
Can Elbauthin assist because he's right
Absolutely, but then he'll lose the action for his thieves' tools because that'll be the help action.
there? Okay.
What bullshit is this, dude? They're not under initiative. They're far away from the door. Did they move towards the door now?
So
They were actually 5 feet away from the door.
They were pretty close to the door. So you know what? Actually, you know what? Alex has a point. Now, I'll be honest with you. Although maybe the way he's saying it might be a little forward. That's fine. They didn't actually move yet. It wasn't their turn. So Talron, that's totally fine. So you close the door. The door is closed. Elbauthin's turn. If you have choosing to do nothing and to use that thieves' tools, totally fine. We'll go from there. Is that what you want to do?
He left the building again.
What's going on? Hello? Left again?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's AFK. Okay.
But he did roll thieves' tools.
Yeah. That's fine. So I'll go ahead and say that he sticks his second thieves' tools in and locks the door.
Okay, let's not open any more doors, shall we?
I agree.
Okay.
So that ends that encounter prematurely. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so the door is locked.
Okay.
Let's. We
We're
hearing.
I was like,
agree
yeah,
to-
can we, like, now that that door is closed, I'm going to do a
Yeah.
perception check to see if I hear anything else coming from one of the non-locked door areas of...
Sure. That's
I'm gonna-
fine.
Yeah,
I'm
please
not-
do one as well,
Mi-
Talron. Please.
Yeah.
Do better than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeke is just so rattled from almost getting...
Yeah, you guys are a little nervous in the service here. I'm totally fine with that.
Dude, I'm just like, God damn it. Like, all I can
Alright.
hear is my own heart.
Okay.
All right.
That's totally fine.
All right.
So, Alex, I'm glad you're back. You were successful in locking the door. There's a scrabbling and a squelching on the other side of the door. But beyond that, after that, maybe another 10 or 15 seconds, the noise subsides.
yeah, let's not
That's not the
let's not go through any more doors with those kind of
Yeah,
noises.
let's not open anything.
Yeah.
And like I just like reach up to the door and draw a big... Oh, why is it not working? Come on.
What are you
I'm
drawing?
drawing a big fucking X on the door. No, just don't do it. No. That's just a reminder in case we happen to find ourselves back here again. The other side of that door sucks. Like, I'm all for opening it after we've taken a nap. Maybe?
Maybe,
Maybe not.
but
Maybe we just leave those fuckers in there.
I agree. Why would? Okay, who was breeding some frogs in there?
I don't know, but God, they smell terrible. So
Ugh.
I did. So with Talron's perception check, did we? As I'm just like Zeke is just drawing angrily on the door. Does Talron hear anything?
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your particular vicinity, let's see, what do you hear? You know, it's funny. You do hear, like, barely, like a couple of weird sort of moaning and maybe shuffling sounds behind the door right around here. But in that immediate vicinity, that's the only thing that you hear, beyond the sort of squeaking of rats and the occasional moaning of the wind. That's pretty much all you hear.
Let's avoid
So-
the moaning sounds.
Yeah.
You guys want to go in that direction?
Do we want to go that way? I mean, I guess we should go on for a little bit longer before we take a break, but we definitely need a break.
This place sucks.
It does, man.
Like,
Like, what the
If I
fuck is
remember
up with the
correctly-
drow? Just like, I'm never trusting a drow door again. Like, ever.
and this is supposed to be the floor where Skullport is at.
Somewhere, or the entrance to Skullport is somewhere on this floor.
Well,
I would
Skullport
just...
certainly looks like shit.
I mean, it is a city full of thieves. I wasn't expecting it to necessarily be, like, wonderful.
And here I thought you were gonna give me the tour.
I've never been there before, man, but, like...
But at least
Because
I trust you more to give me like what the city life is like.
I mean, that I can do. It's just a city I don't know.
Oh, this place is a dead
Dead
end.
end. Is there anything interesting in this room?
Probably not.
Hmm.
So, does the investigation check count for anything? Is there anything around here? Check stuff.
So let's see here. Let's go down to where you guys are. You look around this room, it seems to be just a pile of rubble, to be honest. And this is accounting for your investigation as well as your perception.
Well, fine. I just start slowly stealthing back down the hallway
So
With
like
with my goopy, stealthy friend behind me.
I'm trying my best.
You're doing great. I'm very proud of you.
I know, but like my feet's covered in spider guts and it's
I
like
know, but it's making you so quiet.
yeah, but like what if it stains the armor?
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we can find a good laundry.
Well, what's laundry?
Oh, honey. Well, I'll just do. Okay, that's.
Elbauthin, up ahead of you, you're able to spot, sort of sitting in the middle of this tunnel, not moving, 3 enormous spiders.
Oh, God damn it.
How about let's not?
How about we just sneak past them?
I mean, if it's possible.
Sorry,
Well,
my audio cut out for a second. What?
So far, I see 3 spiders.
Okay, nope.
Yeah.
No, but there
Elbauthin! Elbauthin!
Yeah, it's not possible.
Guys, let's go find a place to chill out and take a rest for a little while, shall we?
I
Sure.
agree. Back to the coin room, maybe?
There was a large room right above the door of Nope.
The door of Nope?
The door of Nope with all the smelly lizard
They are
frog things
definitely
behind it.
They are definitely not my degenerate cousins.
No, they are decidedly not. You smell much better.
I thank you.
Alright. There's the
Lovely.
door of No.
That's some very nice quality art you've done there.
Thanks, I try while panicking.
Anything
right.
behind this door?
You can certainly try to open if you would like.
Where is he?
Where did
Oh,
he-
he's up there.
There he is.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Do I hear anything?
With your perception, you hear nothing.
Okay, let's try opening it.
Okay, you open it slowly. It shows a room bereft of things beyond bricks and rubble.
Well,
It's not quite big enough for the fortress. There was room a little ways back, though.
Yeah, let's see if we can find something forward. Just trying to make up time to see if we can get a long rest at some point.
Understand. That's exactly what I want to do. Find somewhere to take a rest because we desperately need one. Like, I'm fine taking on spiders, but I just need a nap first.
Well,
we're gonna have to backtrack. Yeah.
Well, assuming that those spiders come with more of those drow guys, which
they may or may not. I mean, there's technically room right here to set up the fortress.
That is true.
Don't you need 20 by 20?
Oh yeah, I'm
so close.
Is it? Oh no, actually, I think it's 30 by.
Oh, well, the last time you opened it, I thought it was 20 by 20, but I could be wrong.
It is 20 by 20. I'm doing
15.
bad math in my brain.
That's okay.
The wrong.
Yeah, this is just 15. God.
Almost room right here.
Almost.
It would totally block the passageway and not be at all conspicuous.
What about the treasure? What about this obnoxiously freaking not a trap room?
I think there was room in there.
There's definitely room, but again, better to keep our distance maybe from that coin.
I mean, I feel like we're close enough to the spiders that made it. I don't know. That looks like spider dead to me.
Well, he's okay.
I mean, it's an adamantine fortress, man. It's pretty tough.
Do what you guys want.
So, what do we do with the treasure stuff right here? Like,
let's get inside the house and then figure that out, shall we?
I mean, I do have mage hand, but sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can do mage hand from inside the house. It'd be much safer. But let's rest up before we touch the possibly cursed gold.
I agree. Pocket tower.
All right, pocket tower. So I'm just gonna assume that everyone stepped out of the way.
Yes.
While I made it too small, but
Boink.
I let go too soon. I'm going to assume that everyone got out of the way and I did not just murder my pocket tower.
I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
And now I keep drawing shapes because I kept forgetting. Okay, there we go. I slipped.
All right.
We gotta get you like a
Everybody in the
pocket tower
tower.
like icon, so I can just drag it onto the screen.
Yes, we can just put it on there. So everyone inside the pocket tower, admire the chimera heads festooning the walls.
The best soft rugs.
The best soft rugs, the chimera rug and the owlbear rug. And I'm gonna spend an hour filled up with my gemcraft book, and then I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I get my spell slot in an hour. Well, spell slots, but all right.
I need the full long rest. I need that.
Okay.
Hey Zeke, how strong is this tower, by the way?
The walls are made of adamantine.
So
Here,
we should be fine, right?
We are so fine. Let me see if I can throw it up in the chat real quick.
Instant fortress.
Yeah.
of solitude.
Alright. How do I put this in chat?
Well, first off, yeah, I would like to spend an hour, like, gaining, well, short resting.
For what
I
reason?
mean, well, we're long
Yeah,
resting in
I
general.
think you guys are
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a long
long
rest.
resting.
Yeah.
We are
Never
long
mind.
resting because.
Never mind. Yeah.
Is it in?
What are you trying to do here, Sarah? You're just trying to click on
I'm
Instant
trying
Fortress?
to put the Instant Fortress in chat
No
so
problem.
people can
I
see
can
it.
do that for you.
Do that for me because I can't figure out how to do
No
it.
problem. Here we go.
Let's go.
It's a goal. I'll just copy the whole goddamn thing in there. Ready? There we
There
go.
you go.
Boom. You're welcome.
Holy.
You're welcome. It's
in
enormous. Enormous. 20 by 20
That
feet
is
on a
so
side, 30
big.
feet high, arrow slits on all sides, la 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 la.
It's even got it's got like you could there's 2 stories. There is ladders going up to the 2nd floor and also to the roof if you ever need to snipe from the roof. So like technically if we're having a really nasty combat, we can set this thing up and shoot through arrow slits in the walls.
All right, so let's
but
let's fast forward
I-
ahead and say that you're able to no problem put this instant fortress in,
Yeah.
and you shut the door. You guys can certainly take a long rest if you so choose. I think at right about the same time, Ferros and Qrevialur are finding that they would do for a long rest of approximately the same period. Wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah.
Seems like you guys could use one,
Sure.
especially considering that you're rather
I mean, we're pretty well off. We just kind of have to wait for Hal.
yeah, Haleth is pretty fucked up. Let's put it to let's just put it to
Not our
a
decision.
bare bones. Haleth has fallen down and is just
Yeah.
not moving.
And we're kind of waiting on him.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
we
move him
decide-
one more tile over real quick, just so he's not like visible. From
totally fine.
We just need him to get his lazy ass up, and if that takes 8 hours, it takes 8 hours.
Sure seems like
I'm
he's not
just-
getting up after a few minutes. So,
Well, I mean, he's not gonna get up after an hour, I assume either. So.
well, I mean, you can wait
we're
an
probably
hour.
gonna take a long rest.
So,
I mean, yeah, we could do like an hour one.
so here's what I'll do for the 5 of you. I will give you all the benefits of a long rest if you so choose.
Oh, I was gonna do 24
Excellent.
hours sleep though. I mean,
Can we do watches too? 'Cause I feel like
Absolutely.
Ferros might want to put a watch on.
I think that would be a great idea for those of you who are not in an impervious fortress.
Yes. Can I ask you a question, Matt?
Yeah.
About how hit dice work on a long rest?
Sure.
So on a long rest, I get back half the hit dice that I expended on my previous short
You
rest.
get back half your hit dice, period. So, right? So if you have, for example, right now you're level 10, right?
Yes.
You get back 5 of your hit dice.
Oh, perfect, because that's all I
up to
do.
max 10. Yep, up to max
Excellent.
10.
Awesome, sweet.
And I believe it's
Ooh.
rounded down, but
It is rounded down. That's the whole thing with D&D.
Yeah.
It's always rounded
what you
down.
expended, right? Because
Always
I
rounded.
only expended 3 the last short rest, so I'm using
Up to-
7 now.
Yeah, up to your max. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you get 5 up to your max, which would be 10.
Right. You can't go beyond your maximum hit dice. So,
And wait, do you also roll hit dice for hit
Oh,
point
no.
regeneration on a long rest, or you just get your
you
points
get
back?
all of your hit
You
points
just get
back.
full.
That's what I thought,
Mhm.
because Alex was rolling hit dice.
No,
that's
no, no,
why.
no. You don't need to roll any hit dice.
Because on the last short rest, I did a 3. I used
Right. So
3d8.
let me stop you,
Right.
Alex, real
Yeah,
quick.
sorry.
Short rests and long rests, very different things, right? Short rests are where you essentially take the time to recoup, bandage yourself up, and use what are essentially, from a game mechanics perspective, the hit dice, right, to bring yourself back up as much as you can that you have hit dice left. Long rest, you're like, I'm fucking pooped. I'm just gonna chill out, let my body rest and recoup, and being the awesome hero adventurers that you are, you're able to bring your hit points, right, back to maximum, and your hit dice come back to half of your total maximum up to your maximum. Make sense?
Yes.
Super.
Yeah, so you didn't need to roll anything. You get all your hit points back, and then if you use those 3 hit dice that you used, you get back, and you now have 10 hit dice again for the next time we get into a huge fight and have to take a short rest.
Totally.
Right. So if we go do another short rest, for example, if you do a short rest and use 3d8, and then you go do another short rest, you only have 7d8 to use. Right?
Yes. Correct.
You got it.
Cool.
Resources.
Thank you. I was just making sure that I had it right so that I wasn't accidentally cheating.
You're not accidentally cheating. I'll tell you if you're accidentally
No,
cheating.
I did.
I have 20 hit dice. Is that accidentally cheating?
Yes.
Get out.
That's more than accidental, I think.
That's intentionally cheating. Let's get real.
All right, so let's talk about the group up on level 2. You have essentially only 2 people, unless you want to make Nerthios take a watch, would be hilarious.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's like another person here too.
I mean, he has 10 eyes. Actually, no, sorry, that's the big beholders. He has 5 eyes.
I'm talking about
He got 5 eyes. He could do it.
Well, he's not gonna take the entire watch.
Okay.
He could take 2 hours though.
All
like
right.
everybody else.
That's down. I'm down for that.
Zeryl's gonna be taking 2 hours.
That's it. Zero too. He's there too.
It's true. It's true. Zero's got eyes.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
And Zeryl technically doesn't need to rest. He's
I
like
don't know.
celestial.
I don't know.
He's a celestial creature. He has, for all intents and purposes, he has a soul. So,
Okay, all right.
he's not a
a
construct.
very sassy soul.
Yeah. I'd say he's more like
Well,
the
yeah.
Alfred to Ferros'
Let me
Batman.
read real quick.
He
Yeah.
definitely is.
All right.
I have no idea if it needs to sleep or not. It's Matt's
You know what?
choice.
Let's just hand wave it. Let's hand wave it because it's not really important. Let's go with long rest. And, yeah. Who wants to take watch between Ferros and Qrevialur first?
I was gonna take the first.
Okay, Ferros, you take the first watch. Roll perception, please.
But I was gonna assume before we started,
Yes.
I was gonna look at Qrevialur. Well, that's 2 dead. Do you still think we're doing the right thing?
Honestly, I feel like either way, it's not on a moral spectrum.
Alright.
Whether we were here or not, these events would have probably transpired. Somehow we probably would have gotten out of that hole, whether it was by us or someone else, and he would have gone on a murderous rampage. And so all I think we're doing is speeding up the inevitable. Just like the fact that me saving my wife is inevitable.
An interesting
But
perspective.
we could take it slow, or we could take it fast. But either way, we're getting her back, no matter the cost.
Perhaps I'm a bit more pessimistic, and I think things can be stopped.
That's completely plausible, but I think we're doing him a favor and his friend, because it seems like all of them are, at least the 3 that we've met, including Haleth, that they are not in situations that they're suffering. They're all suffering, and I don't like to think this way anymore, but sometimes it's merciful to end someone's suffering. Because if we didn't end it, then it would have just continued.
Did
for
you read a
as long
book
as-
since we last met?
No.
I was just keeping count of words that you wouldn't have known when we first met. That was plausible, merciful. I believe there was intervention there.
Let's just say it's a good idea to act stupid around pigs. It can get you out of a lot of sticky scenarios. Trust me. It's happened more than once.
Wow.
I don't know how I got out of the jail cage. It just kind of opened by its own. They believe that sometimes.
I'm really curious. How did you get out?
Of the jail?
Yeah.
Well, they had a odd cell. It apparently was some sort of track mechanism. It was like the entire floor of the cell was a trap door. They flicked something on the wall, like a candlestick, and the whole floor just opened up to this giant hole that led to to a pile of bones at the bottom.
Why do
I
you think they did
miraculously survived Why do I think they did that?
that? Was
Well,
it
they
to kill
told
you?
me it was. They told me it was to make me suffer. They thought that I'd fall down here, survive, and suffer to whatever beings are down here.
And was it just a guard? Was it someone important?
Well, I think we can leave this conversation for now.
Alright.
I would like just
Go ahead.
So, Ferros, go ahead and roll perception for me as Qrevialur goes to sleep.
Oh shit.
Look at that.
You could take either roll, Anchor.
I'll take the net 20 because the performance. You like do a little dance, and it's awful. Yeah, you like for some reason your conversation with Qrevialur inspires you to do dance, and it sucks. And then you're like, fuck this, and then you're like, okay. You look around, and nothing happens. On your first watch.
Wow.
I'll
Amazingly.
go off on a little singing without him hearing me. He's lagging. Go ahead.
Okay, you wake up. Actually, the funny thing is that when you look over at Qrevialur falling asleep, you see him sleeping, and he is tossing and turning on the ground, and he's mumbling something.
Wait, did we wake up this long rest?
So no, meaning Qrevialur.
After your watch.
Yeah, this is the end of your watch, Ferros. You see Qrevialur, and he's just tossing on the ground for a second, like.
Hey. Your watch.
Qrevialur, you sit up, and you're just coated in sweat.
Sure.
Have fun.
Okay.
All right.
Qrevialur, make a perception check.
Perception.
Okay.
Wow, that's a.
Look around the room. You notice that there are. It's a room. I mean, well done.
Oh wow!
It's a room. It's covered with cobwebs.
This room is very spacious.
I mean, I think even Nerthios probably notices more than you at this point. But that's because he has 5 eyes. So
He doesn't notice anything. He's asleep.
he sort of floats over to you. He says, "I cannot sleep.
What's wrong?
You are what is wrong.
What do you mean?
You are not sleeping well.
I never sleep well.
No, I have seen you sleep before. You are not sleeping well.
Because every night I do a ritual. I haven't done it.
I do not understand.
Wakes me up at 2. I don't know if you've caught on.
I do not know what you mean.
I don't know if you've caught on, but there's a reason why I'm down here. I'm not here to find or plunder any loot. I'm not here for gold. I'm not here for. I'm here because my wife, somewhere down, being tortured each and 3 seconds. They take. It seems like. Qrevialur's like starting to tear up. There's strands of tears coming down.
He Nerthios has his tongue, and he's takes it and gingerly just uses his tongue and just wipes the tears away from your face.
Putting saliva there instead.
Yeah.
Do not cry.
It's impossible for me to not.
It is a sign of weakness.
No, it is a sign of strength.
You are strong.
Everybody who is strong can cry.
I cannot
To
cry.
You have.
I have never cried.
You just don't. At least internally, you probably have.
I do
You
not
seem
know
like
what
you
that
have
means
been-
internally. Does that mean that my insides are crying?
It means that figuratively, your brain is suffering. Your brain is sad, but you don't express.
You do not make sense.
Remember when we first met,
Yes.
and you were so very sad? You were just wandering years, nothing but the hope of your master returning. That's how I feel. But my hope is waiting. My hope is that I find.
I see. Sleep better.
And he just floats away from you.
Try.
'Kay.
And before Qrevialur even starts his watch, he's gonna sit in the corner.
Yep.
Like puts his hands really close together, and a small sphere appears. A small orange sphere. And said some words very quietly to not wake anybody else up. And the small orb looks like it opens up. It's just pitch black. And then he starts his watch.
Okay. In your watch, nothing happens. And I would say for Zeke, Talron, and Elbauthin, obviously, being in an impervious, amazing instant fortress, even if you had the hordes of hell smashing against your door, you guys would be sleeping soundly inside.
Sleeping like a lizard.
So, after 8 hours, the 5 of you awake. Long rest complete. Ding. Ready to take on the day. So we'll
I don't want to.
we'll stick with Talron, Zeke, and Elbauthin for a bit, and we'll get back to Qrevialur and Ferros a little bit later. So, the 3 of you, folky dokies, what do you want to do?
I don't want to get up off the rug.
Well, you guys want to do something with the gold pieces that
Zeke,
are out there or
you're,
something?
Hello? Why is everybody...
I'm sorry, I was muted. I muted myself when I walked away. I was like, my soul really wants to try and take that gold. But we're on level 3 of this mess. And there is so much scary shit in here already that I don't necessarily want to provoke an attack.
Hang on.
Just for some gold.
I'm going to look out the window. Do I still see the gold?
Still there?
This is an impervious tower. We should be completely fine.
We should be, but whatever shows up, we're going to have to kill it before we can leave.
Oh, that's fine. I'm going to cast a Mage Hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Mage Hand floats out the window.
Out the window and starts scraping along those coins.
Shh, shh. The sound of metal scraping against metal.
Nothing showing up?
What do you expect to show up? Santa Claus? I'm confused.
Well, I don't know. Something.
It's coins, man.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna try make it grab a handful.
Okay. Grabs a handful.
And start bringing it back.
Floats through the air. 1 or 2 coin drop to the ground. Ding, ding.
Fuck. Come on.
Comes closer to you. Handful of coins.
Yeah.
You grab a handful of coins. You got, I'd say, about 14 gold.
I look over at Zeke.
I'm listening very carefully to see if it seems like anything is.
Make a perception check.
I just did.
Okay. You hear nothing.
Should I try again or go outside?
I mean, the wall of the fortress is technically blocking the entrance.
I'm gonna change the amount of gold that you got because it's not gold at all. It's actually a different kind of coin that you probably have never known before. Tower. It's made out of. It's not silver. It's not copper. It's sort of a shiny, sort of dull, not sort of streaks of dull and shiny metal. You've seen a few of these coins before. They're called electrum. They're worth more than gold, actually. Technically.
Huh.
Sorry, Kraw.
I never heard of
Electrum pieces. Welcome to Math 101.
I've never actually heard of these
There's a slot for him on the sheet.
There is indeed. Look at Kraw. Look how much pain I've done to Kraw by making him think of electrum pieces.
Let me see his face. Oh,
Look at
he's
him.
hurting.
This is the face of pain from using
I just look
electrum.
at him and I'm like,
It's like I'm using the metric system all of a sudden.
I was like, might as well go for it again.
All right.
Mage Hand comes
There's a
out.
door right next to it. Yep.
Comes out,
Scooping
grabs a
up.
big old scoop of electrum pieces.
And brings
on back.
Still nothing.
Look at
outside?
the pain. Look at the pain in his face, man.
Well, there's nothing outside that's stopping the coin or from me from grabbing the coin.
I'm just worried about something showing up. I'm gonna roll another perception check.
Okay.
You know, I'll do one as
Kraw
well.
is
Just
quite literally a twitch.
He really is. You're right.
I'm running on a solid.
all right.
Right now, this is my goal.
Yeah.
This is what's
You don't
happening.
hear anything. None of you hear anything besides the sound of coins.
All right, now I'm actually gonna go outside,
Open the door.
All right.
taking a look around,
Okay. You look around.
even with
I'm gonna go stand at the arrow slit nearest the door and watch.
Okay.
clink, clink.
That's true. We probably washed off all the spider goo on our break.
Okay.
Summon the glaive.
Shing. Glaive appears in your hand.
Start like waving it around like the coin pilot.
A giant coin monster. No, I'm totally fucking with you. I am
my
totally
God.
fucking with you. You guys are making this a lot more. It's coins, bro. It's coins. That's all I gotta say. I'll give you.
again.
It's a gimme, right? Let's move it along. Here.
Mix.
It's coins. It's a lot of electrum pieces. It's a shit ton of electrum. Yes, Kraw. Electrum.
All right. I go out and join it.
Coin mimics.
And
The fuck.
we're just gonna scoop up this fucking money.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
We're
At
just
this
taking the
point,
money.
Sure.
Thank you.
all
It's a
money.
lot of coins. Like, it's a big old hoard.
Yes.
So I'll tell you how much is in there if you want to, like, see if you can figure out a way of trying to get all this shit out of here somehow. But I'll tell you how much is in
I
there.
mean, can I put it in my hoard?
So the hoard contains, I don't know, do you have like I don't know if you can do that, but we'll have to figure that out later.
I don't know if I can do
The
that.
hoard
either.
contains
That would
the following amounts of money. Ready? You'll like this.
be
600 electrum pieces,
Whoa.
Okay.
2,000 silver pieces,
Ooh.
and 10,000 copper pieces.
I mean, fuck the silver and copper.
Just take the electrum.
Take the electrum. That's 200 electrum.
You like
for
sort
everybody.
through all the electrum, like copper,
Yeah.
silver, copper, silver. Fuck. Oh, electrum.
200 electrum. One electrum piece is it's a platinum piece, right?
No.
It's
Platinum
like
pieces
one-
are different
No,
from
it's
electrum.
in
pieces.
between.
Yeah, who
Throw
wants
it
to
all
keep...
in the dryer and go off the different sounds they make.
So,
So what's an electrum piece worth?
I think it's worth. Let me check my
There's
coin
a,
registry.
There's a slot for it in between silver.
I think it's worth
Silver
5. Hold on.
It's worth 5 silver pieces according to
There
Drakon,
you go.
according to Ferros.
Electrum.
Boom. Electrum
Okay,
pieces are worth 5 silver. So it's actually worth less than gold. Yeah. It's a silver gold alloy. I got that right at least.
All right, so 200 electrum per piece, and then I'm just gonna grab everybody grab like 50 silver, just because silver's handy.
Cool.
I mean, you can grab more than that if you want. I just don't want to utterly overburden myself with money.
Yes, I know now. Now I know why you hate it, Crow. I now know your pain.
Barely anyone ever uses the electrum.
Okay.
Dude, I just realized that my weight goes up on my character sheet.
Exactly. That's why I
Well,
was
we
like,
could just
let's-
dump the rest in the tower, so...
Well, we can-
What would be encumbered, Matt?
Don't worry about encumbrance. We won't get into encumbrance unless you pick up like a 300-pound weight, and you're clearly not meant for that. That's why we're sort of doing with Qrevialur what we think is right. I take a look at the amount of weight that you guys have, and unless you are, yes, it's way too fucking complicated. And I am in no
Yeah.
way to make
This
my
isn't
brain
Fallout.
bleed out my nose with encumbrance rules. So we're okay with that.
As we're sorting through the coins, is there anything under the coin
Nope,
pile?
it's
or is
just
it
all coins.
All right,
Still
let's
going.
just
All right.
put all the coins in the...
Like
At least
Mario.
try to...
everything that's left in the tower?
Yeah.
All the silver and
Why
copper?
not?
I'll give that
Oh,
one
that
to
was
you.
worth
I'll
it.
give it to you. You take some
so-
giant brooms and just shovels, and it takes the next
Hell
30
yeah.
minutes, and you just shovel it all into your tower.
All right. So what was that? How I'm just gonna put that in my inventory in my cash.
God
so
in heaven. All right, yeah, sure, that's fine.
I'm just gonna write it down.
The
How many
banker.
copper was
So 600 electrum.
that we split up.
Cool.
Everyone's got 200.
2,000 silver pieces.
Okay, we gave everyone 50, so that is 1,850.
Math
Silver?
nerds. And 10,000 copper pieces. Lots of pennies.
All right, 10,000 copper. When we eventually need to go shopping, that will come in handy.
And when you want to really fucking piss off vendors, you're like,
Oh,
one
yeah.
copper
I will
piece,
pay you in copper.
2 copper pieces.
Be like, I'm sorry, that was 50
Copper.
gold. Let me pay you
in
in
copper pieces. Those people.
Hey,
So,
man,
wait,
I-
10,000. How do you divide that in 3?
Don't.
We'll figure it out later.
You just don't.
It's just we've swept it into the building. That is the communal
There
bank.
you go.
The copper and silver is for
Like
everyone.
sawdust.
Well, how about this? We put 1,000 copper in the tower, and then the rest of us keep 3,000 each.
Or you could just swim through it like Scrooge McFucking Duck. Let's go ahead,
I
people.
don't-
Come on.
I'm gonna swim through it. I don't want to carry 3,000 pieces in my backpack.
Okay,
Tower.
fine.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Are we done looting this giant?
I
Yes,
really hope so.
we
I really hope.
We are
Alright.
we are done.
All right.
We are
Elbauthin is
done.
out. I say Vamonos. The tower shrinks. And
Whoop, no more tower.
no more tower. Bye tower.
What does Vamonos even mean?
It means let's
It means
go.
let's go in Spanish.
Okay.
And the password to set it up is "leave me alone." There is actually a story behind that.
Beaut. Continue, gentlemen and
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah. All right, Elbauthin. Oh, let me roll some stealth here.
Oh no.
I know. Maybe some of the spider goo is still in the joints of. We'll find out.
Maybe it's dried up.
We are happy with these rolls so far.
Holy shit!
We are happy with these
Oh,
rolls.
you rolled better than
You
me.
guys are getting
Check
better
it
at this
out.
kind of stuff. Continue, please.
All right, like the whole southern area. I'm
Well,
trying to
we
get
have-
west to the hobgoblins, right?
I think we might have to
So-
go back up through the spider tunnel that
Well-
we avoided the first time.
Either that or we haven't really gone. The only other. Well, we can go completely south, but that's where there are more spiders for sure.
More spiders and possibly more drow. We've got a drow head, and
That's fine, let's just
I've got the
do
spider
it.
brooch. I was going to take his
And
armor, but
let's
I took
also
the
not
brooch
forget the
instead.
fact, if we were to head east, there's gotta be those weird, smaller creatures. So regardless, we're gonna be fighting.
Yeah, but we might as well go in the direction where we think the hobgoblins are, if that's who we want
Even
to talk
west,
to.
right?
Yes.
West is the way we want to go, which is left on the screen. Am I wrong?
You are correct.
But
West. Oh, I thought hobgoblins were east. I must have gotten confused.
oh no, yeah, they're
Or
west.
west.
Oh, he
Yeah,
said
but
west,
how
but
do-
then we went west and found drow. So I thought
But
maybe.
how do we get
Lion.
west? That's the thing.
Well, definitely when we were up north, it didn't really seem like there was any pathway going
No,
west.
we've got to go down through where we just were. So we're probably going to find more spiders, but we got to go. We got to fight spiders.
Otherwise,
fight
we just
spiders.
go eat. Otherwise, if we just go east, we're gonna find drow.
Yeah, we don't.
We're trying to find the hobgoblins
We're trying to find the hobgoblins.
because they're the
So-
ones who can hopefully get us to.
And
We're
I'm
probably
yeah.
going to end
my-
up having to find this Teresa bitch and kill her. It's probably where this is all going. But
Am
I
it's
honest-
just-
Yeah, that's
Am I-
fine.
yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as we find the hobgoblins first.
I mean, in my honest opinion, we're gonna have to go past those damn spiders. Probably kill them, likely. So
Most likely. All right, let's go kill some
if
spiders.
we're all in agreement, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Elbauthin, my sneaky, sneaky friend, would you like to take the lead?
Okay.
Okay.
He doesn't even.
Down he goes.
disappears.
Past
You
the
gotta be okay.
past the hissing, stinky lizard room.
The door of nope.
The door of
The
nope.
door. Nope.
Past.
Wait up.
He's just like sneaking, but so fast you can't see him. He's a blur. He's a blur. He's so fast.
Jesus.
He's going so fast. He's like, I'm gonna go.
I don't even know
Let's
where
go.
he went.
Boom.
I lost him.
When you get to the tunnel,
Hyphen.
Did
Freaking
he-
hyphen.
he
Wait
went
up.
straight? He must have gone straight. Okay.
Yeah.
you can see him. You can see him. He's waiting there, tapping his little elf foot.
I can't. Oh, there we go. Now I can see him.
There you go.
Jesus.
Oh, holy kyphin. Can you slow down a little bit?
Elbauthin, when you look down the tunnel, the passageway where the spider is, the spiders are gone.
Oh, what?
Spiders
Where were
go.
they? Oh, okay. Where is he? Over here?
Where
So
did he
confused.
go?
I don't know. I lost him. There he is. Okay, found him. This way. Over here, buddy.
Yep, the spiders are
I'm
gone.
trying.
And there are no more webs.
Oh, that's
Well,
weird.
That's either good or bad. There's a huge room over here.
I see water.
You do, in fact, see
And-
water, Talron. When you look through here, you see a sort
And-
of lazy river. River?
Hang on. Elbauthin, you mind coming back here for a second?
Why? We're trying to go west.
No, I know that, but... Huh.
There actually
There's
seems to
something
be
unusual in
a
here.
like an almost like as if there were like an underground river in this space.
Also, there are some boards up there.
Yeah, there are.
Was this someone's camp?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I say we go west.
I know. I'm just... How often is it that there's usually underground rivers?
You look
like
at this
I don't
these
know.
boards against the
Very
wall,
often.
and you see that next to these boards, these like wooden slats that are tied together with rope, you see these long poles.
Oh. I feel like this river could take us somewhere. Maybe
Well-
Skullport? It's a port. That means it's
I-
on water.
I look at the direction I look at the river, try to get a sense of which direction it's going.
You look down, you see that the river, the current seems, although slow, it seems to be going south.
Well,
Do
Well,
you-
here's the thing. We don't know the direction of Skullport, and I'd rather not jump into a river and chance it.
Well, at least it would probably be a safer route, but
Probably is always
Safer
the
route
word
to
here.
what, though?
well, that's the thing. I mean,
I mean, we don't know where we're going, full stop. But I get you, Elbauthin. I personally would love to jump on a raft and see where this river goes, but I understand your caution.
all
There's
right.
there's also a little passageway right there.
You do see a passageway
Find the
hewn through the rock
hobgoblins and-
going south.
They're west.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying this place is like a maze, but lead on. Go west. That's fine. Just go.
Go west, young elf. And there he goes.
I just look over at Zeke and just give her the shrug.
I shrug back and follow Elbauthin down this hallway.
Okay. You pass by a door and you go into another room. It seems to be hewn into the rock itself. There is no longer any sort of dwarven flagstones on the floor anymore, as you are now in the very caverns, the caves themselves.
Well, the scenery doesn't look any different. So.
Hmm. Let's just
Look.
follow the elf.
I wonder what happened to the previous people that were here before us. Like,
Oh, they're decidedly dead.
oh, of course. Just
This hasn't been a dwarven city in a long time.
I mean, I'm a anthropologist, so
True.
it's kind of my kind of curiosity.
The tunnels seem to sort of arch around almost in a coil, Elbauthin, as you're walking
Ugh.
through it. But they're very very narrow, just maybe 5 to 10 feet across at most.
Zeke.
Hang on, I'm lagging. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There I am. Okay, there I am. I froze up for a sec.
Also, you
Here I
guys
am.
know what helps you move is the arrow keys on the keyboard. If you select the character, you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move. Just to...
Really?
Oh, hey, look at that.
I
Ah,
actually didn't know that.
I had
didn't
no
know that
idea.
either.
Cursor keys for the win. Then all we hear is tap 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 tap.
It also doesn't move the screen for me, so.
That it won't do.
I actually didn't know that either. That's pretty cool.
Tips.
Ah.
The more you know. Do 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 do.
Good lord, how big is this skinny
This tunnel just
Elbauthin
arcs
is literally
around
in
and
the-
around and around. And Elbauthin,
Oh, good.
as you come out into this hallway, you stop because there's light coming from a rather large cavern to the left of you. And the light spills out onto you, and it illuminates a room full of a dozen red-skinned creatures, which you recognize from the second level, the Goblin Marketplace. They all wear the same armor. They all wear this sort of like dark red armor with a symbol on each of their breastplates, or at least where their armored breast is. And the symbol is a yellow handprint inside a triangle.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
think
I'm
we
gonna
cut-
pull out the head of the elite drow guy.
Okay.
Drop it on the floor, come out of stealth, and go take me to your couch.
Okay, as you do so, like all 12 of them, as they hear the clunk of this drow head hit the ground, they all spin and pull out scimitars.
I said it in Goblin.
Yes, we thank you very much for indicating that you say it in Goblin.
Goblin.
In Goblin. And let's see, where is this? What room is this? 17. You guys are up to 17. Awesome. A hoarse voice thunders from the darkness as all these hobgoblins pull their swords out.
Whoa.
And a couple of them actually have crossbows, and you hear the gears of some of the crossbows sort of click back. And one of them speaks. It's sort of a grizzled-looking hobgoblin. He says, "Come no further, strangers, lest you be met with ash and steel."
Did he say that in Goblin?
He
or
says it
Common?
in common.
Okay.
don't mean no trouble at all.
He steps forward, and he says, "Identify yourselves before the Legion of Azrock, or die as this drow
I'm here to-
did."
We're here to assist in eliminating the drow threat. We removed that drow's head.
Make a persuasion check with advantage because you got a drow's head on the floor.
Sure. Actually, yeah, okay.
21.
21.
The hobgoblin looks at you and looks at the drow's head and says, "My Lord Commander, Warlord Azrock, has demanded that all visitors present themselves to his hall."
We'll follow you.
Very well.
I am Talron, by the way.
The hobgoblin says nothing. He says,
Okay.
"Do not do anything that would disappoint the warlord, and my men shall ensure your safe passage."
You have our word that we'll be on our best behavior.
You will need to be processed appropriately, of course. But have no fear, as long as you are not treacherous or have no affiliation with the drow. You should be met with peace and lodging.
What kind of process?
Okay. I grab the drow head, and carry it with me and follow him along.
Okay. He motions to two hobgoblins, sort of large, bulky, red-skinned guys. And they, the other sort of dozen or so hobgoblins, move out of the way. And they motion to you to follow them north. As you pass through this sort of phalanx of hobgoblins, you see that to the west, there are two sort of large wooden blockades, essentially, set up with large spikes, which go off into this tunnel, the tunnel which slopes downward. But beyond that, these hobgoblins stand at attention with their swords drawn, watching you as you pass.
What is this down to the south?
He says, the one who has addressed you, he says, "That is the way down. We do not expect many people will be going down there, but we are here to guard and make sure others from the drow incursion do not return, as well as others, perhaps from Skullport."
Oh, down to Skullport, not down further in the dungeon.
No, that is not the way down to Skullport. That is the way down past Skullport into the layer of dungeon beyond it.
Gotcha.
Oh, so to the deeper sections.
Yes.
Yes. And this is a DM question. What do I see to the south down there at the bottom where the other hobgoblins are
You
standing?
see essentially a tent made up of rotted fur and skin, where
Ew.
most, if you can probably imagine it, these hobgoblins are camped.
Okay.
All right.
So
Well,
these two hobgoblins, this one here, these two hobgoblins move through the tunnels and motion you to follow them north.
Cool.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to bring you through the tunnels because it's quite a ways.
You're going to move us?
I'm going to move you. So go ahead and group on up,
Sweet.
and I'll move you. And you guys just follow your tokens, and I'll show you what you see.
Can we fast travel?
Fast travel? What is this? Fucking Dragon Age? No, dude. Sorry.
No, I just want to remember how to get back.
Don't worry.
So let me
I
just
will.
think of
I will keep it in your little gray cells as to how to get back.
Well, we're gonna watch.
You are going to watch. Yes, I'm definitely not going to take you off the page. So, here's what you do. So, relinquish control of your tokens, and I will bring you to where you go. So you go through this little passageway, it brings you to the west, and as you verge into this little cavity here, you see that there's a whole bunch of bugbears, again, all with the same kind of armoring and decor, again, with that same yellow handprint inside a triangle. And as you sort of enter this foul-smelling cavern full of hairy bugbears, they sort of look at you and go, and the two hobgoblins say, in common to these bugbears, they say, "They are guests of the warlord. They have dealt damage to the drow. They are under his protection. You are to stay here." The bugbears sort of snarl and make way. for the 2 hobgoblins and the 3 of you.
Zeke? Where
Verging
did you
further
go?
north. You pass by a rather, even more possibly, if you can imagine it, foul-smelling cavern to the east. The hobgoblins say to you, as you pass by it, they say,
Do not enter there on your way back. That is precarious territory, not for the well-suited.
I don't mean to interrupt, Matt.
Matt, can you shift ping me because I got booted
Sure.
and now I'm back.
It
bing.
would also mess up Zoom too. Zoom has changed. a bit.
Uh-oh, what
I don't know.
happened?
Yeah, check. See, I got booted off the internet for a
Ooh,
second,
Okay.
and I just reconnected. So make sure that I'm in the right.
Yeah,
window
that's a
of
great
the
idea.
stream.
I will do so. You are not in the
Yeah.
right window, so I will change that back.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. No problem.
all
But
of a
thank you
sudden
for letting me
everything
know.
froze and I got kicked off.
I will do so when we get so we can switch back. I will switch you back when we get to where we get to because this is important
Perfect.
stuff. I think people know who everybody is. Here we go.
And all I heard, last thing I heard was foul smelling cavern, and then I cut.
Yeah, it's essentially the 2 hobgoblins tell you, don't go into that place. It's not for you to go into. The tunnel gets even smaller if you could possibly imagine it, and sort of they have to go single file, and I urge you to do the same. And so you go single file through these caverns here, up and around.
Man, this place is huge.
Again, passing by another awful smelling place. Full of garbage.
Oh.
Full of garbage.
What the fuck are we? I'm gonna
Do I need to make a
Wow.
con save?
Nope.
There we are. Holy crap! This is a huge.
It
dungeon.
is enormous. And finally spills out into... Right here.
I had to make this so tiny to find you.
I'm so sorry. So yeah, this place
That's
is
okay.
pretty fucking enormous. And as the 2 hobgoblins finally, like, there's a breath of air that's somewhat stale, but warmer than the frigid, cold tunnels that you've been walking through thus far. And what you see essentially before you is a decrepit, moist ruin of a town. The hobgoblins that stand before you urge you to halt, and then they notice that you're with other hobgoblins, and they say in Goblin, so only Elbauthin can understand it, to the other hobgoblins,
Hey, who are these? No, they've killed one of the drow. They are clearly forces to be reckoned with. They must go for processing, and then they must be seen by Warlord Azrock. Well, then bring them to processing as soon as possible.
So, the hobgoblins, they bring you through this town, this hobgoblin town, or goblin town. You see, walking through the streets, all manner of goblinoid creature, be it bugbear, or goblin, or hobgoblin, but yet the streets are somewhat deserted. You only see maybe... No, you expect to see like a city, like a dwelling, but there's maybe, I don't know, at most, as you were walking through these tunnels, you see maybe like, I don't know, 10, 11 goblins running through the street, and they run even faster when they see you coming. The hobgoblins march in a military fashion through the town.
I take it as isn't Skullport.
Definitely not.
Occasionally you see more hobgoblins, again, very militaristic looking.
That's the deal we're gonna make. We're gonna take out the drow, and they're gonna help us to
Get to Skullport.
Occasionally one of the hobgoblins sort of like sees one of these little goblins like wandering past, very sort of meek looking, and the hobgoblins sort of just shove him out of the way. Move! Know your place! And then they just keep moving on past other hobgoblins. These hobgoblins are sort of punching each other to see who can hit the hardest. And then they see you coming. They move out of the way. And finally, after much ado, I would say maybe 10, 15 minutes of walking, you guys find yourself through the town. I'm just going to move you there. Into right outside of a decrepit-looking hovel. which you then enter. I'll bring it there. With 2 other hobgoblins. And as you enter, you hear the sounds of like small voices all talking amongst themselves. And as you do so, as you enter this room, you see a whole bunch of goblins all sitting behind a desk, all writing. And I shit you not, it is literally that scene in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone with all those fucking goblins writing like with these giant quills and looking at you with these long noses. And as you stand in line, one of the goblins rings a bell, bing, and says in Goblin, "All right, next." And Talron, you're first in line, but you don't know Goblin, right?
I know.
I speak Goblin.
Okay, so yeah, Elbauthin, you can probably just go, you tell him what he says.
Which goblin do I go to?
The first in line, right here.
Oh.
He rings the bell.
So
Ding!
I'll assist. I'll assist.
As you move over to the goblin says
step out of my
in
spot
Goblin,
so
he
you
says,
can
no, one at a time, one at a time.
Okay, so what is it that we're doing here for this gentleman Talron?
The goblin says, name.
Talron.
Talron?
Yeah, he's asking for your name. I'm just telling him your name. Do you
Yeah,
want me to help?
I just said my name.
Occupation.
Oh, what's your occupation?
What does occupation even mean?
He's a wanderer.
Adventurer.
Adventure.
He writes down adventure. He says, tribute.
Oh, I pull the head out of the...
When you pull the head out, all the goblins freak out. Like, all of them behind their desks, like, ah! Ah! The hobgoblins sort of snicker to themselves and poke, like, stupid goblin.
I mean, does that count?
The goblin sort of looks you up and down, and says in Goblin, "You killed that drow?"
And I look over at Sarah and I'm like, Sarah, do you remember the numbers that I say it in common.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the numbers?
I think it was like 12.
12 drow plus this guy and
Plus
5 giant
five
spiders.
spiders. Yeah.
Okay, so in Goblin I say 5 giant spiders, 12 drow, and this elite commander.
All the goblins along the table, like, look at this one goblin, and he's just like, writes all this down very slowly. He says, okay. And then he just takes this enormous stamp and just goes, and passes you a piece of paper, Talron.
I look at... How well written does it look?
It looks awful. I mean, it's like scribbled to shit. It's hilarious, though.
Goblin.
I can't read whatever the fuck. Oh, okay, thank you. And, yeah.
Much more gingerly, the next goblin sitting right next to that goblin just rings the bell like, ding, and goes, next.
Elbauthin, Petlen.
Elbauthin, Petlen. Occupation.
Captain, City Watch.
City Watch?
Waterdeep.
Water. City Watch Waterdeep. Writes it down, scribbles it down. And then, like, he doesn't want to say it. The next goblin just, like, hits him in the ribs, like, tribute.
Well, we killed 12 drow.
Yeah, okay, very good. Stomps it and gives you the piece of paper. Third one's just like, next.
I assume he's going to ask me for my name, so I just take a deep breath and say, Adzekiah Calliope Millicent Thornwood.
The goblin just stares at you.
I just also peek over at Zeke like...
I look at him and just shake my head and go, Zeke.
Zeke. And like all the goblins just start going, Zeke.
I just kind of like rub my eyes. Yeah, okay. Mhm.
Occupation.
Oh,
I'm
he's
an-
asking for your occupation.
Enforcer.
Oh, enforcer.
Enforcer.
Enforcer. Zing, 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 zing.
This is
Tribute.
great.
Tribute. And he like looks at it. He looks over at Elbauthin and he goes, tribute.
Are
Same.
you serious? We killed
on.
Okay, tribute.
12
Stomp.
drow. 5.
Gives you the piece of paper. The two hobgoblins who have been cackling in the corner quietly right themselves and say,
All right. Come with us to see Warlord Azrock. I doubt you will be shocked to know that he is the leader of our clan and is the most powerful hobgoblin. Blessed be Maglubiet.
a couple of the goblins snicker. They're like,
Magwediot?
Maglubiet.
Glubia. Meg.
Meg.
Elbauthin, actually, all three of you make perception checks. Elbauthin, you hear the two of these goblins behind the desk. They're like whispering to each other, like, and luckily you speak Goblin because they speak to each other in Goblin. And one of them says,
Warlord Azrock, my ass.
I look over at the hobgoblins that are escorting us, and I'm like, what kind of respect do these goblins give to Azrock? Because that one over there just said, Lord Azrock, my ass.
the goblin looks at you, Elbauthin, like with wide eyes, and the hobgoblin like looks at you, Elbauthin, and looks at the hobgoblin, takes out his scimitar,
Uh-oh.
Oh, god damn it.
and does nothing. He says,
We will deal with that one later.
the goblin, like, literally, who has not breathed for the last 10 seconds, like, just slumps down. And the other goblins suddenly just, like, cheer, like, and laugh at him. And the hobgoblins then usher you out of the room. Down a long street and into, past a whole bunch of hobgoblins and goblins, into, where is it? Oh, there it is. Way up there. Jesus, man.
This place is
Yeah,
huge.
it's fucking enormous. Past all these houses of like goblins running to and fro, you see some goblin children and some hobgoblins.
You see why we need help getting to Skullport?
I'm honestly surprised I'm not getting leg cramps.
We do walk a lot.
Finally,
Yeah, that's true.
ending at a much larger abode with a very, very large-looking hobgoblin in front of it. In fact, let's make him a large. There he is. He's enormous. Like, he's twice the size of most hobgoblins. And these hobgoblins stop in front of the door, and they say,
Holy shit.
Remember, fealty toward Warlord Azrock is required.
and they open the door. And the first thing that you see when you open this door are two enormous-looking dog creatures that stand in front of the door. They're like licking their paws. They do not look like wolves because they're much bigger and much meaner looking, and they have these awful sort of like curled fangs that come up over their teeth, like underbites essentially. And the giant hobgoblin steps out of the way and allowing you, which I will now give you control over your tokens now, to step in to the hold of Warlord Azrock.
All right, guys, when you get in there and we're before this Lord Azrock guy, please kneel. Okay?
How do
Just
we
saying.
know?
Whatever.
We'll know. We'll know. You guys
Whatever. Okay, let's just go.
Let's just get this out of the way.
Yep.
As you enter, you see that the walls are stained with ash, and you assume, just by the fact that everything here is black and sooty, that this was probably originally never a hobgoblin place at all. It was actually very much like everything else that you've seen, part of the dwarven ruins. But it seems to have been renovated into this hobgoblin's great hall. And you see rusted weapons and tools lining the walls. A crimson basin, once used probably to quench metal, now clearly quenches a different thirst. These two wargs, these two awful sort of wolf-like creatures, lie on the floor gnawing on bones, while various goblinoids stand at attention, spears at the ready. And as you enter the room, you see a female hobgoblin. For the first time, an actual female hobgoblin. But this one is, like her male companions, she looks like she's ready to kick some ass. In fact, let me show you a picture of her. There she is. There she is.
Holy shit.
She motions to you and says, "Welcome, honored guests." He stands at the far end of this hall, a hand on the tip of a sort of weird-looking wooden staff. And you see that a hobgoblin male is sitting atop a throne of bleached skulls, a foot resting on the ancient anvil that once sang, most likely in this hall. His hand rests on a great sword's pommel, and a helm covers much of his face, darkening his eyes.
Stand. Humble
So I
yourself in
kneel.
this hall and be exalted. Exalt yourself, and you shall be humbled.
Was that Chris?
That is Warlord Azrock.
Okay, yes. So
And I'm gonna
kneel-
change. I'm gonna change now. Now that I have the time, I'm gonna change everybody's little thing around here. So
Oh, yes, there you go.
get in the right place. But yeah,
What?
Exalt myself and be humbled? Is that a riddle?
Humble yourself in
So I
this
kneel.
hall and be exalted.
I kneel before Azrock.
I-
I'm bow my head down and wait for him to tell me to rise.
I curtsy.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm a fucking lady.
I don't know anything about bowing, but I try to have like Witcher style, like haphazardly bow.
I message at Talron, just do what Elbauthin's doing.
I attempt to do what Elbauthin does clumsily.
I play delicately with a necklace that I have around.
I kind of
Just
like look
staring.
up as I'm curtsying and eye that necklace. Does anything about it look familiar or interesting?
make a perception check.
Mm.
With a 19, you see that the necklace itself is quite gruesome. It's a finger. On the end of it is literally just a hewn finger, chopped here,
Mhm.
and on the
Oh.
finger rests a glittering ring.
I'm just
Can
playing
I
with
can I see the ring?
You're pretty close enough, but you'd have to get closer to Azrock to see it properly.
Okay.
What brings you to my hall?
And with that,
What
I
is
put.
that? An elf, a
And with that-
tiefling, and a lizard man. Hmm.
And with that, I
What?
placed the head of the elite drow on the floor. And then I look over and I say, "We're here to eliminate the drow threat for you, with your assistance, of course."
Oh, eliminate my little friend, Carissa.
That's right.
that easily.
Well, this group here,
You
this
think that I
tiefling,
haven't done it myself for some reason or another.
well, I think we're pretty good. I mean, we managed to eliminate 12 Drow soldiers,
Well, before
one
you,
elite commander, 5 spiders.
I just
Just the 3 of
whistle
us.
and kind of give them all like a. I just kind of look at my guys and just kind of give them a little nod.
The bugbears all look at each other, and a couple of the goblins sort of scamper to the side. Lorcana, the female hobgoblin, comes and rests her hand on your shoulder, regally standing before you.
I mean, we weren't expecting to be initially
They're still
Be-
speaking, aren't they?
Yeah.
I hear one chittering away. Ah, thank you for your patience. Why are you here?
We need to get to Skullport.
What do you want to do there?
Well, it's simple. We help you eliminate our friend and her forces, and you escort us to Skullport.
You didn't answer my question.
Repeat. I didn't hear you.
Why Skullport?
I'm looking for a friend.
Interesting. What is your friend doing in Skullport?
Apparently making his sister very angry, and I told her that I would help her find him.
I'm looking for a stone.
Stone.
Yes, a stone.
Well, you seem capable.
and I'm assisting these two, but I intend to go deeper within this entire dungeon.
Well, Lizard Man, I'd be careful about that wish. This dungeon, as you call it, will make a person go mad.
So we noticed.
Yo, could you? I'm sorry, man. Does anybody else hear the volume really low?
I can hear him.
I can hear him just fine.
He's quiet.
A little quiet.
Did you turn me down?
I'll turn him up.
Is that better?
That's
Yeah,
much better,
that's
Azrock.
That's much better.
Here, I'll
There you
just
go.
put the microphone in my mouth.
Lorcana sort of like puts her hand on Azrock's shoulder and says,
We can hear you much better now. Maybe if you just adjust your helmet a little bit there, Ezra.
I just kind of like tweak a little bit, kind of pick it up. And
Yes, you're
down.
much more imposing sounding now, honey. Good job.
The echo's good.
Much more fantastic. Keep going, Ezra.
Thank you. Fuck the goblins. Goblins suck. I don't like goblins. Anyway,
I say, we
Well-
had noticed, but you seem to be doing fine.
well. Well, to be lenient with you. Swear you must pay tribute to me in some way. You've brought me, apparently.
I snap my fingers and some papers are brought over, and I quickly read through them.
Bugbear comes over, gives you a piece of paper.
Basically, they're all like the same amount of tributes.
Well,
It's a communal effort.
I've seen less and been more lenient.
I fold the papers and hand them off to my wife.
She takes them.
You shall have protection here in my hold, till I see it fit otherwise. May it be known.
I kind of slam my sword down a little bit.
Ching! All the hobgoblins, like, at once, like, just, like, they put like, Lorcana just puts her hand on the spot on her breast where the handprint inside the triangle resides, and all of the goblins just, like, bow in fealty, all the bugbears do the same. They just put their fist against their chest.
I bob another curtsy.
I bow.
I try to bow.
Your respect is admirable. Muglet be praised.
Maglubia be praised! All of the bugbears and goblins all say the same thing. One of the goblins in the corner says something. Go ahead and roll perception check to see if you hear it.
Me?
Yeah, you can do it too.
Everybody?
Everybody.
I am so
I don't think
not
I can. I don't think I
perceptive
actually have a token, Matt.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, let me give you control.
Can you just roll? No, just roll it for me.
Ah, okay, that's fine.
I trust you.
You trust me? That was your first mistake.
Yeah, I
This
know.
is like my least perceptive day ever.
All right.
Well, you have a friend.
That's good.
Yeah, you don't hear it, unfortunately. Azron.
Really?
Not even Talron?
Let's see.
I don't have advantage on that.
Even if you did, you would only get a 16.
Okay.
So,
19?
Talron of the 19. Yeah, no. DC was 20. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, but clearly the goblin said something. The other goblin just whacks him. He's like, psh. Goblin's like,
And I look over at the goblin and I kind of look over in that general direction, just stare at him.
goblin like shrinks back from your gaze. Like,
I glance over at the goblin and I just cast message and say, I heard that.
goblin like looks around, like,
And I just kind of wink at him and then turn back to face Azrock.
okay. So, that said, Azrock has seemingly given you a measure of safety here in his hold.
So I'm going to step forward and ask him, not that far.
You stumble up the steps. You're like, ah.
I mean, we know I'm a little clumsy. I step forward and ask him, so what next? In stepping forward, I also try and get a closer look at the ring on the finger on his necklace.
Super. I will use your perception from the last time, just because
Thank you.
it's pretty much close to the time. You see that there is a ring, and you see on the ring there is some writing around the back of it. You're able to see in that short period of time that you're sort of like stumbling forward. You see the words stoop and 4 letters, K-R-E-S.
Shit. I just say that under my breath to myself.
Okay.
Do I hear that?
Do I hear that?
I don't know. Make a deception check, Zeke, and let's see if it overcomes their perception.
Great.
You're pretty deceptive.
Actually, that would be my insight.
Well, if you heard the word shit, I'd say that's perception and insight. So let's see if anybody can beat a 19 on perception.
It's the same
it's the same score. So yeah, you heard it definitely, Elbauthin. Talron, you did not.
I didn't know, like... Oh, never
That's
mind.
okay. Wisdom is wisdom is wisdom. It's fine.
Did Asrock hear it?
Let's see if Assrock heard it. I love Assrock. His name is Assrock.
Ass rock.
His name is
Yep.
Assrock. Here we go. Perception. Oh, actually, he's got a pretty decent perception.
Yep, that's right, Kraw.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. He doesn't have a decent perception. He got an 18. He got an 18, but that's not enough to beat Sarah's 19 on deception.
I look over at Sarah.
I stub my toe.
Perfect timing. That's perfect timing.
Fucking
bullshit.
What is
Look
he
over at him,
playing over
We'll
there?
talk later.
Monster Hunter.
I just stare him straight in the eye, straight in the face, and just say, I stub my toe.
It's either that or Craw's phone making the noise, man. Honestly.
The musical parts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't believe you, and we'll talk later.
I cast a message and I say, fine, just shut up.
Okay,
What's the
Assrock,
deal?
go ahead and give them their adieus, if you so choose.
Sure.
Well, I was going to ask him for men.
Well, I mean, let's slow down first. I mean,
I just kind of look at the elf, who just keeps looking at me, and you look like you have a question, pointy ears.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could get a contingency of men to help you in
Or one of the
tracking down this
puppies?
woman.
well, we're not exactly conquerors
Precisely
here.
2 of your shaman and 10 of your strongest warriors.
Now,
I
Mr. Elf, why?
To
If
kill our friend.
You have sworn fealty to me.
Yeah.
You get to go kill the drow. Not my men. You.
I'm gonna like
Mm.
I'm gonna whisper to Zeke. We're not exactly conquerors here, are we?
No.
Zeke,
You seem very capable coming in here and plopping an elite soldier's head on my doorstep, and now you're backpedaling.
well, I'm not backpedaling.
Why are
That
you asking
was-
for help? You seem pretty capable.
Well, if Lord, if you let me respond, I'll respond. Not, you're not gonna.
I wrap my tail around my legs and just close my eyes.
Mm,
I just look over at my wife.
She looks
and
at
then
you
I look
like,
back at you. And I look back, and I look at the elf,
I'm literally biting my muzzle.
and I just wait.
and everybody's eyes are on you now, Elbauthin.
It's simple. 2 shaman, 10 of your strongest, and we'll wipe out the drow.
Why?
There's a lot more than 12. Those same men can escort us to. Those same men
All
can
right.
escort us to Skullport.
I have one question for you. Why should I do that for you? What's in it for me and my
You don't want the
horde?
drow wiped out.
I never said that.
Well, that's
I
what's
don't
in it
like
for you.
the drow. They crawl under your skin and bother you just like a bad itch in your arm.
I think I hate them just as much as you do.
Well,
But
go prove it. I've
I'm
killed
asking-
hundreds, thousands
I'm
of them
asking-
over many years. If you think that I'm going to give you 10 of my best hobgoblins, or even one, you
Well, let
have
me ask-
another thing coming.
Let me ask you a question.
I
Do
look
you want
over
it to
at
be?
the tiefling.
Would you rather it be known that 3 adventurers wiped out the drow, or that Warlord Azrock wiped out the drow?
Well, little lady, who have you just sworn fealty to?
Sworn fealty, sure, but who's going to believe us?
When all these
Kind of lift up my arms and bang my anvil on the ground. When
all these individuals here will know who
Oh,
really
sure.
killed the drow.
okay.
They'll know, but what about everybody else?
Doesn't matter to me. If they're not on this level of this madhouse, what does
But
it
I thought
matter?
you wanted control of Skullport.
I'm gonna look over at Sarah and I go, well, I guess he doesn't want the drow queen dead.
Sarah.
Priestess.
What?
Who's Sarah?
Who's Sarah?
Zeke.
It's okay.
It's the name on the screen.
Feel my pain, motherfuckers. Feel my goddamn pain. Honestly.
I can change.
Everybody
it.
is Ferros.
Everybody is Ferros.
Everyone's
Ferros.
Ferros.
I mean, I think he does. He just wants us to do it for him.
Yeah.
You
but,
said that's what you
I mean,
need
what's
to.
in why? Yeah, well, that's what we will do on
Yeah.
that condition.
Yes, it is. Now, Val.
Let's listen. I mean, as long as we continue to go about our own way, we'll have to
I'm
kill
grown
some.
tired of this. You're on your own.
Lorcana
my
steps in
anvil.
front of Azrock and puts her hands up and she says,
Warlord Azrock has become tired and must retreat to his quarters. He has issued you your orders, those of you who have sworn fealty to Lord Azrock. However, if you would so care, I have further orders for you if you'd be so kind as to follow me to your appropriate quarters.
Okay.
And she starts
Wait,
to walk
wait,
out of the room.
Who swore fealty? There was a condition for the fealty. No one swore fealty yet.
At
Kind of-
that, I turn very quickly.
No,
As
that
I'm
was
leaving.
that was not in character. That was Timat.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought that
Okay.
your tribute, right? You guys actually put your tribute on the floor as a response to
Yeah, but
his
that's not
swearing
swearing.
fealty.
Yeah, that is.
That is swearing fealty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When you put tribute to someone, you swear your fealty, which means your obeisance to them. If you
I wasn't gonna swear. I wasn't gonna swear fealty without a condition of contingency of men.
We
There's
kind of.
there's no way I'm gonna go wipe out a Drow army without an army.
Well, we just sworn our allegiance to the hobgoblins, so
Right, that's fine. I don't mind having an allegiance as long as we get to Skullport eventually. And as long as we do it tactically, where we're not putting our entire necks on the line. I mean, just because we took out an army of Drow doesn't mean we're going to take out an entire army of Drow.
welcome to
Just to get to Skullport.
welcome to D&D.
God.
So Lurkana sort of
Was
starts.
that in character, or were you just being a dick, dude?
Okay, so let's take this back a sec. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Everybody calm down. Lurkana walks out of the room, right? And asks you to move with her out of the room. Right here.
Before we are out of the room,
Yeah.
I make eye contact with the goblin from earlier and cast message again and say, "You come find me later."
Okay. He sort of shrinks in your direction.
I give him the look that says, "You better." All right. That's what I wanted to do in there.
Lurkana actually sort of moves around, and she sort of motions for you to come this way. The streets are empty at this point in time, so you guys can certainly do so. She looks sort of both ways for a second, shuts the door. Actually, there is no door. Opens this door to this space in here, and walks into the room. And when you see her, she is standing there alone with her arms crossed. And Talron, as you file into the room, she says, "Shut the door."
All right, I'll just shut the door.
And you shut the door behind you. You are in a room. It's dark, but I think at least one of you, if not all of you, have some kind of dark vision, including Lurkana, because she's a hobgoblin. So you can see what's inside this room. You see on the far west wall there is a, well, it's a door frame, just like door frames that you might have seen actually in the past. Except this one has sort of strange carvings of sort of serpentine mouths all over it, all open, and the inside of which is empty. It's just a wall behind it. She says,
Oh, don't worry about that. We don't know how to turn that on. It's been here since we've been here. It's obviously garbage. Listen, I have to take you aside because you're the best shot that I have. I need your help. My husband is a fine and powerful man, warrior, a hobgoblin, whatever you want to call him. But we have a problem, and he doesn't want to admit that he is incapable of stopping it. You asking, and she points her pointed finger at Elbauthin and says, "You asking my husband for a contingency of men when it is clear that he has just the ones that we have is embarrassing to him. He would never admit that he cannot spare the men needed."
There were thousands in the hallways.
Thousands?
Well, hundreds.
You exaggerate.
I mean,
You exaggerate, elf.
Zeke, Zeke, Talron, how many did you see?
A lot of civilians, honestly.
We
I
have
saw a lot of like goblins running around.
we have maybe 24 non-armed goblins. A contingency of perhaps at most 2 to 3 10-score of hobgoblins, all of which were poorly armed and cannot match the drow in a fight. And half a dozen bugbears, dumb enough to hit their heads against the wall and make a hole. Do you consider that an army?
Well, considering how we barely managed to face off an entire squad of drow earlier.
Do you know how many drow there are? For certain.
How many have you dealt with?
About 12.
12.
13 if you
12,
count
5,
the big guy.
13. 13.
Remember,
Yeah.
Teresa of Rundar's forces are simply the vanguard of a greater force below here in Undermountain. Teresa is just the force that has come up, bubbling from below. Her forces are small but powerful. If you have dealt a decent enough blow by killing off one of her elite soldiers and 12 or more of her drow troops, you have thinned out her army significantly.
But have we thinned it out enough to survive another attack?
It depends on your powers, dear.
How many, if I may ask, how many more elite generals does this Felindra normally have?
Teresa.
Teresa. I swear my common.
Teresa has several of her drow cousins. A mage of some repute. Another elite warrior, similar in look to the one whose head you threw at my husband's feet. Beyond that, she has perhaps another 10 to 12 drow soldiers. And maybe a host of slaves that she keeps in order to, well, perform arcane experiments on them.
So, what's the likely chance that they're probably gonna retaliate for our accidental assault?
Quite high, I would say.
Well, if you will not offer us men, can you offer us anything to give us an advantage in a fight like that? Because you said we've got Teresa, who is a priestess. We've got a mage. We've got at least one more elite soldier and possibly 14 more drow. We definitely saw some more spiders down there. That is a fight heavily weighted against us. So if your husband will not offer us passage to Skullport even, which is all we really want.
How did you get so far? The three of you.
We had two others, but...
Oh, I am sorry for your loss.
They're not...
We don't know what they are.
They might be. That's not the point. The point is they're not here. So if you want us to do this for you without promise of even the reward that we asked for, which was safe passage to Skullport, what can you give us?
We don't need
to
10.
help.
We could do with less. It would be easier if we would have a strategic advantage if we had at least 10. But with less, we can probably gain some ground. But with us three alone, facing off against another 14,
you're asking for a lot
20?
with little return.
Well,
I'm considering this as a business transaction.
I'm with Zeke.
We also kind of better off knowing exactly where each of their positions are in this map, or in this floor anyways.
The least I can do is offer you a decent idea of where all of these drow reside. I assume you know nothing of this level as you stumbled into our camp.
Accurate.
Well, if you are to gain a tactical advantage against the drow, you may have ideas as to where everything and everyone on this level exists. Would you consider that a fair trade?
Sounds fair enough.
Elbauthin, you're the tactician. What do you say?
That's fair with 2 men, 2 or 3. Or maybe even one really good, solid warrior.
Or even one of the dogs?
The dogs are Azrog's personal pets. He will not abide the loss of one of them.
Worth a shot.
And then we noticed that there was a river on the way here.
That is the River Sargouth. Yes, what of it?
Where does it go?
Many different places. But
Well, if you're going to tell us where everything is.
It does not go typically anywhere. It idles here and there. It files out into the Great Bay, but
nowhere pleasant.
Nowhere pleasant that you'd want to go. At one time, it filed down the river hundreds of feet in waterfalls that would cascade from here and there down into Skullport itself, but those ways are blocked.
Oh.
Huh.
That's unfortunate.
Well, with what was it? Lucana?
Lurkana.
Lurkana. Well, Lurkana, if you can give me one strong man and that intelligence, that would assist greatly.
Make a persuasion check. Straight persuasion.
Can I assist on that since I've also been helping strike this deal?
I will say yes, and I'll even tell you DC. The DC is 17. Okay.
Oh.
Well, the assistants would have given him advantage, but I'll.
I mean,
you know what?
I was like, I started this deal.
I'll go with the fact that I'll go with it because, I mean, you beat it by 1. That's fine. So Lurkana sort of like looks at you, Elbauthin, and says,
I will not do it for you.
and then her eyes fall on you, and she says,
But we are females. We know that we are stronger than the rest of these males here. And to you, I offer this as an important piece of information.
and she takes you aside over to this side of the wall. And she asks Elbauthin and Talron to go on the other side of the room.
I'm still going to do this with advantage. Sorry.
What are you going to do? Yep.
I mean, I don't know if I should. Fuck it.
Try it out. All right. We just say goodbye to Chris because he's headed out for the night, but we thank Chris for his attention. And at this point in time, we're going to take our break. And when we come back...
Bye, Chris.
When we come back, we'll hear what it is that Lurkana wants to impart. Thanks, man. Thanks for your awesome job, teams, man.
Great voice.
And when we come back from break, we will have the conversation between Lurkana and Zeke. And then directly after, what happens to Ferros and Qrevialur. And we'll end the night with that. But for that, we will go and we'll see you guys in 5. Let's see. 5 minutes should be okay, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So,
Have a great night.
good night, Chris. Thank you, sir. We'll see everybody in 5
Bye, Chris.
minutes. Bye, everybody. We'll see you in 5.
All right. We're back.
So, Lacana takes you aside. Zeke.
I'm.
Talron, did you make that perception check out of a 20? You are barely able to make out this conversation. And you are extremely close to the mic. Would you just to the camera? Just put yourself down a teeny bit. That's better. Yep. You can just see yourself in the Zoom window. So you're able to make out, I'd say, half of this conversation. Unfortunately, Elbauthin, you rolled an 8 or 13, even with advantage, so you can't really hear this. So I'll ask you to sort of keep this to your player knowledge, but not your character knowledge. So Talron, you hear the following, and Zeke, you hear it clear as day. Lorcana says,
I must let you in on a secret. And you must swear that this will go nowhere between the two of us, and that is it.
I swear.
My husband is afraid. He is not all that he purports to be. I, his wife, have known this for years. The ruse that we have that supports us in this place and has supported us for the last 30 years is slowly cracking. There are those here in Azarok's court that seem to know the truth, although how they know, I do not know. But the truth of it is that my husband is blind. He's been blind since his birth. In Hobgoblin society, those who are born with such a deficiency are dealt with. Usually in a rather barbaric manner, which we followers of Maglubiet try not to espouse, but there are those of us who are of a more conservative nature, but that is neither here nor there. My husband is blind. His mother was a very powerful sorceress, and chose not to subject her son to the whims of fate, and fashioned for him a very powerful magic item known as a dagger of blind sight. With this dagger, Azarok was able to surpass his inabilities to gain sight beyond that of even the most skilled hobgoblin. And using his natural given talents, was able to rise through the ranks of hobgoblin society to where he is now. I loved him from the moment I saw him. Proud, regal, vicious. We sired a son.
and she looks sort of a little distraught at this point, and looks towards Talron and Elbauthin just to make sure that they're not listening or watching it. And Talron, your eyes meet hers for a second. They meet Lorcana's. And she seems convinced you're not listening. And then she comes back to you, Zeke, and says,
My son does not believe that his father is of a nature that is valuable to Hobgoblin society. He considers him a cripple, a weakling. And he has left us. Somewhere down in Undermountain he resides, associating himself with more powerful beings for glory and fortune. Where he is, I know not. But I fear for his well-being greatly, as a mother fears for her sons. No matter what mother, what son. But I implore you, if you are to continue your journey here, help me find what has been stolen. Azrok's dagger. He has put a ruse in place that shows that he can see, but he cannot. He can hear, he can smell, but he cannot see beyond his own nose. He cannot see my face. And she starts to tear up a little bit, but then, like, pounds her breast. She's like, no. That is weakness. That is weakness. Help me. Find this dagger. Bring it back. You will be rewarded appropriately.
Do you know who has it?
I do not, but there are those who may.
Such as?
There is an ambassador from Skullport who has taken residence in the town.
In this town?
Yeah.
Okay.
His nature is alien to us, but we tolerate his existence here. But it is likely that he is aware not only of those who stole it, but where they reside.
And what is his name?
His name is Urkress.
Urkress.
Yeah. He is not Hobgoblin. I must warn you that.
What is he?
He is a mind flayer.
Oh, goody.
Not to
All
be
right.
trusted.
I mean, is anybody at this point?
Certainly not this one.
In exchange, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The finger your husband wears around his neck with the silver ring. Where did that
her
come
face
from?
gets like very like almost angry at this point, and she says,
Yes, that was torn from the hand of one who did not pay the appropriate obeisance and fealty to my husband. He came, perhaps a month or so ago, up from Skullport. What was his name? Rojnar. Something Rojnar. He had a failed slavery business that he could not push up from Skullport, and so he decided to fall upon my husband's mercy for what he considered to be some kind of prepayment, so that he would go back down to Skullport. My husband saw right through him. And when this simpering human left without the appropriate tribute to my husband, we had him gutted and thrown to the Otiug. Oh, and my husband kept his finger as a trophy, along with that very pretty ring upon it.
To the who now?
To the Otiug.
What is the Otiug?
an Otiug.
Sorry, as you know, I'm not from around here.
An Otiug is a creature that eats refuse, a scavenger. I would prefer that you not see it. It lives amongst the discarded remains of the drow that we have killed in defense of our own habitat, as well as our own forces.
Do you have anything else that belonged to him?
No.
Okay, two things. One,
Nothing else was of value to it.
And you throw them fully clothed
I do have
to the Otiug?
Yes.
All right. So, we have a deal?
So the deal is that if you come back with the dagger, I will give you the ring.
Yeah. You can keep the finger. I don't need that.
takes some doing, but I believe that I can convince my husband.
I feel like the return of his sight would be a reasonable trade.
I agree. Yeah. Done.
Excellent.
Now, where were we? And she turns back to Elbauthin and Talron. Yes, we're done. Thank you for your patience, Jen.
Oh. You're ever quite so welcome.
Now, I think it's best that we bring you to your new living quarters, shall we?
Eh?
She
Lead the way.
She sort of leaves the room, takes one sort of last longing glance at that gate-looking thing on the wall, sighs and says, "Fucking garbage," and then she just walks out the door.
I'm actually going to take a look at the gate before I go.
Sure. The gate is 21 feet. Go.
Is it like the same exact one we've seen?
It's
like...
different, right? It looks different. It's got a different sort of motif around the wall. This one, it's the keystone of the arch, right? The middle, the sort of middle thing in the middle of the door, of the door frame, is carved to look like a dragon, like a very small dragon, like a wormling almost, right? With its mouth open.
Curious.
Just for shits and giggles,
Okay.
I am going to cast a cantrip. I'm just going to cast a little firebolt right at the dragon's mouth.
Okay. It lights the room up pretty brightly. But, you know, the firebolt hits the dragon. You cast it from pretty close up, so you don't even need to, like, make an attack roll. You go, and flame appears inside the dragon's mouth. Nothing happens.
No, shit.
Well done.
Wait, what other dragon typey? I'm going to also do a ray of frost at it. In case it's an ice dragon. I don't know. I don't know shit about dragons.
You throw a little ray of frost. It coats the dragon's mouth in rime. From outside the door, you hear Lorcana say, and Talron, you hear her say, "Are you coming?"
We're coming.
Yeah,
Zeke?
we're coming. I am, however, going to put a little... Come on, let me draw. Why isn't it letting me do it? There we go. I'm just trying to draw a little door on the door.
Okay. A little door on the door.
Door on the door to remember that that's the room with the little portal in it if I can ever fucking find it again, because this place is insane.
Beautiful.
Cool.
So
I wish the drawings would like show up in the dark part of the map
I
when you're
know.
not there, so you can be like, I'm trying.
you can
to
change
get
the
in that
coloration
direction.
of the thing, though. You can change the coloration.
No,
of
but I mean, like when you're not there, like out in the blackness,
Oh,
I wish your
I got it.
drawings would show up as like
Yeah.
as waypoints to be like, not that you would know how to get there, but be like, I could find my way back there, sort of. I know it's in that direction.
I'm with you. So
Just need to
Lorcana
leave like breadcrumbs.
sort of like winds through the streets, and sort of brings you, and I'll sort of fade off of you guys as she sort of brings you to a large construct, a large structure. She opens the door, this oaken door, and leads you inside, where there are sort of some ratty-looking mattresses and straw, filled straw, and then she says, "Well, these are yours. Enjoy your time here. Let me know when you're ready to discuss your assault plan." And then she shuts the door.
Where is it?
Yeah, we're still.
I know. I'll bring you there, but for right now, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Fade to black.
Fade to black on you three, unless there's something else that you want to do while you're.
How's it smelling here?
It smells like hobgoblin.
You know what? I'm gonna cast a shit ton of prestidigitation.
That's a perfect way for you to, like, you know, just fade out on Talron, just like casting prestidigitation like he's spraying fucking Febreze everywhere. Like, honestly.
I forgot you can make things smell better.
Oh, thank
That's
goodness for
hilarious.
that.
Hell yeah.
So back to Qrevialur and Ferros, right? Still on level 2. And you guys have woken up from your long rest?
I'm still asleep.
That's true.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Krav might wake up. I'm still asleep.
Okay. You're still asleep.
Nice night. Ferros? Ferros! He's gonna, like, slump over and, like, nudge him a bit.
No! Where is he? Where is he?
Where is who?
No. He's here, isn't he?
Who?
Talron? Where is he?
He's down a floor. He's down a
No. No, you're kidding me. No. He's gonna fucking die! Oh!
Yeah. You haven't accepted that? They're probably all dead. I hope they are. Never liked any of them.
He's gonna die.
Yeah. Hopefully.
No, don't you see what that makes us? We're up here killing things and he's down there killing things
Dead.
and he's gonna die. What
Yeah.
does that make us?
Alive. And him dead.
We can't just leave him.
He's dead.
We can't just leave him.
He's already left. He left you. You gotta realize that. You never left him. This is all his fault. This is his doing. You're responsible for him.
I can't just leave. It's not the reason. I took his oath just to help him. I left him.
He left you. There's a big flaw in your logic here. You never left him. He specifically
I
left
could
you.
have forgiven.
He abandoned. Okay,
I had
you're
every
clearly
chance.
not listening. Hey, and Qrevialur's gonna smack him on the back of the head. Hey,
What?
the fuck? The fuck do you mean what? You're rambling like you just got infected with madness. He abandoned you. What don't you get about that? He isn't worth your time. You should hope he's dead. He left you to die.
How
They left us
dare
to
you say
die.
that? How absolutely dare you cannot say that in front of me.
I
That's
just-
not an acceptable response to where
Do you really want to start fighting me?
don't say he's dead. Don't even say you hope he's dead. Don't you fucking dare
I'm not
say that
gonna
in front
lie
of
to
me.
you. I hope he's dead. I hope the three of them are dead.
Why do you hope anyone's dead?
Because they don't give a shit about me.
What's it
Half
matter?
of them would rather I suffer in a jail cell all my life.
No.
And Zeke pretends like she's better than everyone, and Talron doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing.
Oh.
They left us to die. And if that results in their own death, well, that's just irony. I'll be disappointed if I see them again.
You hear
I look over to Hal.
Haleth is starting to, like, twitch. His body, like, twitches. And it sort of rises slowly off the ground.
Trevor's like still half asleep and he's like looking over, he's like, oh fuck, not you too.
Twitch, and he's like, his muscles are writhing, and his eyes just open.
Ugh. Can't either of you two wake up?
And he looks down at the wounds inflicted on him yesterday, and they're all gone.
Good morning, sunshine.
He says,
Joaquin be praised.
Sure. You're gonna believe your false prophets. Ferros. Snap out of it.
You're really helping, Krev. You're really helping. Just
Krev's gonna
saying.
slap him again. Wake the fuck up. We have like 22 floors to go. You can't lose your
21.
sanity. Yeah. Okay, so you
Don't
clearly
count this one, of course.
we're on the second floor, and you're already losing your sanity?
That wasn't a sand.
Yeah, it was. No, you're clearly going mad.
What if he's
You miss a man that left you to die, which is kind of funny.
I don't think you understand.
I do.
I want to get this over with as quickly as possible if it's not apparent. I'm gonna shake myself and rearrange my hair. Drag the sweat off my body.
You know, that's right. I wonder what you're gonna act like when you see his corpse.
Halethgark looks at you, Qrevialur, and says,
For someone not obsessed with vengeance, you have a very cold heart.
Have you just realized this?
Not to this depths.
I only care about those who care about me, and I've only found 2 of those that exist.
That is
Therefore, I care nothing
painfully
of anybody
clear.
else. I don't care about you. I just care
Let's
about
just
getting
get
to the
this
bottom.
fucking over with. Come on.
Haleth starts to walk down the hallway.
I'd be like leaning into my hand the entire time on Zero.
Nertheost sort of like leans over to you, Qrevialur,
He went into the wall!
and says, very quietly to you, Qrevialur, says,
Do you care about me?
Do you care about me?
Yes.
Then there you go, that's your answer. Yes, I do.
That is
So
good.
that makes 3. You're the 3rd person ever that I've ever cared about.
I am not a person.
Well, yes. You're the 3rd thing I've ever cared about.
That did not take much.
and he sort of like gives you this weird sort of smile, and then just keeps
Now you
floating
know.
after you.
Now you know why I hate. Don't care about anybody. It's so easy. Just care. And yet none of them even.
Halethgark says,
I think that the only way that we have to go is through there.
and he points up at the end of the hallway where that overturned mine court was, and where there was like that hole through the wall where you guys saw that weird flesh golem and that crazy like flying skull. He just points in that direction.
Another day. More corpses.
Okay, let's do it, I guess.
Excellent.
And he walks slowly and he says,
Perhaps we should be more stealthy about this. Yes.
We can't
I don't
spell.
think any of us are really capable of that.
I mean, I
Maybe
can,
you.
but I don't have any good. What would I gain from stealthing?
I show him my chainmail.
The element of surprise, but I guess that is lost on us.
I don't need the element of surprise to win a battle.
Very good. Then I guess we charge. Shall we?
Well, we even need to know if we're gonna fight them first. Just perhaps they don't want to fight us, then we don't have to worry about it.
The only way through something is through something.
And that doesn't necessarily mean killing it.
Would you like to parley with this creature?
Yeah.
Be my guest.
Yeah, I would.
and he sort of like offers a hand forward towards you.
I'll walk in
Okay.
without even. I'm not stealthing or anything.
Sure. You look into this room, and as you walk into this room, completely not stealthing, this creature like just turns. This enormous 8-foot tall creature, and as it turns, the skull, who has been floating around this room interminably since yesterday, at least that you've seen, stops, and like arcs of electricity start to arch through the room, like. And as they arch through the room, you see that the entire floor is made out of some kind of metallic substance. And you see arcs of electricity just passing through it and into this sort of golem creature with metal, like, studs all over it. And the electricity is just funneling into it. And this creature looks at you and just goes... and it sounds like a revving motor inside its mouth as it starts to like arc with electricity. And then the skull says, "Welcome!" And a giant blast of electricity comes right out of it at you, Ferros. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. All right. And as we always end, our wonderful examples of... We always end on a note. So, okay. On a note, Ferros. Hi, I'm Ferros. I'm going to go ahead and roll a 1D, actually 2 D100s, please, for me, Ferros.
I'm a little bit out of it.
I understand.
I'll try my best.
Do your best, man. Okay. 86 and 11. Here we go. So as we see this like arc of electricity blast through the room towards Ferros, like the camera like just freezes on Ferros's face, like fuck, not again. And then it just smash cuts from his face to Hallister's face, who's like, well, that's quite a pickle. Holy crow, that's going to be interesting. But that's all the time we have for this week's little escapade with the still 2 separated groups here on Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Hopefully, maybe one of these years they'll get back together. But anyway, this week's Dungeon of the Mad Mage was brought to you by Miller and Dreadnought, attorneys at Interplanar Law. Have you been kidnapped by a deranged archmage? Have you been subjected to an insidious game for a live audience? If so, too bad! And by Justified LLC. A heavy accent suddenly changes as Hallister suddenly like changes accents completely. Well, howdy there, folks. We got a right new bounty. A vagabond from the world of Toril. Pretty hefty price, too. Wanted, dead or alive. Happy hunting. And the visage of Ferros blazes across the screen just as he's about to get hit by lightning. And underneath, there is a chyron lettered, and it says, listed reward 10,000 gold pieces. Ferros, wanted dead or alive. And that's where we're going to end for tonight. Thank you guys all. Let's go ahead and say goodbye as we always do with our wonderful players here. So let's see. Let's start at the top left. We've got Sarah. Sarah, who are you? Where can people find you on the internet?
I'm Sarah, and you can find me on the interwebs on Twitter and Instagram at Lovely Llama somewhere. I am down teaching a cosplay camp in Maryland this week, so my most recent photo is a gruesome fake wound on my arm that freaked out everybody on my friends list.
Oh my god!
every time.
It was nuts.
And I'll hopefully get some more stuff up in there this week if I have time in between wrangling a whole bunch of nerdy children. It's awesome.
Fantastic. Cool. I'm looking forward to that. Down here, bottom left, Septur. How you doing, man? How can people find you on the internet?
Oh, there's a thing called the internet, but there's also a thing called Twitter. It's a rather fancy place. Just look up Kane Rano. That says so right down there, where I post all kinds of different stuff, different types of shenanigans, whatever's up on fancy stuff these days, just whatever's up there.
So Twitter is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. Moving down. We love you, Septur. Down here, bottom here, we got Drakon. Drakon, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me on Twitter. Overlord Drakon with an underscore in between it.
Awesome.
But they can also find me answering questions there.
What kind of questions? Any questions?
You can ask me questions about the universe.
Are you gonna actually tell me the truth if I ask you questions?
Depends on the question.
Okay,
if you
fair
give me
enough.
a question that doesn't have a pure truth, then I can't.
Okay.
If you ask me what the meaning of life is, I'll tell you soda. But I don't know the real
No, it's 42.
It's not a bad answer. Bottom right here, the man with the price on his head. Now it seems. We got Kraw. Kraw, I know you don't like Electrum pieces, so I'm gonna have to give you all the Electrum pieces ever in this game. But tell the people out there, where can people find you on the internet?
Yes! You can find me!
He's having another daydream, guys. Someone slap him.
One of them.
Where is it?
Kraw Ferros.
Down there?
Twitter.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kraw. And up here at the top right, the man with the plan, Alex. Where can people find you on the internet, man?
At Algorithm on Twitter.
Excellent. I have been your humble DM, Matt G. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can always find these videos here on Twitch and on the VODs on YouTube later on. So thank you guys, folks. We'll see you all next week, next Tuesday, 9:15 Eastern. And until then, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.